Good evening, everyone. In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6, adequate notification of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the Record and the Chronicle, posting notice in the Board of Education Administration Building, and filing notice with the City Clerk. To ensure accessibility, interpreter services are available upon request. Please submit your written request at least 24 hours prior to the board meeting to the Acting School Business Administrator, Lindita Agastra, at lagastra@hackensackschools.org. I hereby call to order the regular meeting on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026, in the Hackensack High School Media Center at
6:16 p.m.
6:16 p.m. Ms. Agastra, can you please do a roll call?
Miss Alston Balaputra,
Present.
Miss Amr Hamza, Mr. Carroll, absent. Miss Gilmore,
Here.
Mr. Jones, absent. Miss Pringle,
Present.
Mr. Stein,
Here.
Vice President Martin,
Present.
President Harris.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please stand for the flag salute. Please remain standing for a moment of silence as we have lost our athletic director just about a month ago. Thank you. Please be seated. And my apologies, it was for Gordon Scooter Whiting. Thank you. Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you. We have a full house this evening. Very nice to see everyone here tonight. We are going to begin our agenda with our student presentations, which is the presentation of the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy recipients of 2026. And our presenter is Marcela Moncloa, who is the Director of Multilingual and World Language Education. Welcome.
Good evening, students, families, community members, faculty, administrators.
I'm so sorry. Marcela, 1 second. Technical difficulties.
Test.
Test. Good evening, everyone. Students, families, community members, faculty, administrators, Hackensack Board of Education President, Mrs. Jennifer Harris, and school board trustees. Thank you for allowing us this opportunity once a year to acknowledge the recipients of the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy in the Hackensack Public Schools. We have a presentation for you. Thank you. As you can see, the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy is an award given by the New Jersey Department of Education in recognition of students who have attained proficiency in at least one language in addition to English by high school graduation. This honor is designated on a student's high school diploma and identifies graduates who have prioritized the study of other languages and cultures. We have ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and others. But the OG large language model is the human brain, the entity that invented writing and invented reading and developed over 30,000 languages throughout history. There's a beauty and a joy and an amplitude that learning a new language gives us. Learning and reaching a level of proficiency in a new language is a gift You give your present and your future self. It is hard won. It takes commitment and agency. Today, we are acknowledging our Hackensack High School Comets that have put in that effort and have achieved the state seal. Please take a look at all those 15-7 names up there, and let's all give them a round of applause for this accomplishment. Before we call out the names of students that are here with us tonight, I would like to acknowledge that the results of this magnitude would not have been possible without the hard work and vision of our former supervisor of multilingual and world language education, Mrs. Angelina Martinez. This was her vision. And all the behind the scenes work of our department administrative assistant, Mrs. Yaritza Alcantara Salas. I appreciate you so much. Finally, let us acknowledge the educators at the forefront of this work. Our dedicated AP Italian and AP Spanish teachers, Mrs. Carelia Tejada and Mrs. Marquez Aponte, who couldn't make it because they're at an AP Institute this week, as well as the rest of our World Language Department teachers who supported our students in their language learning journey. This evening, we honor the students, yes, our team. This evening, as we honor the students we're about to call up, and those who are celebrating with us at home tonight couldn't be here with us, I hope we will be inspired by them to continue to expand ourselves culturally and linguistically. I see a lot of you on Duolingo. That makes me so happy. And we want to become like them, like you, cultural ambassadors to the world. As students come up, they're going to receive their state seal of biliteracy certificates and then our own Hackensack certificate. They're going to receive their graduation cord, which I hope they wear proudly this month. And they're going to receive a medal that has Hackensack on the back and the language they achieved the seal. So here they are. Simon Aguirre, come up, please. Luz Almanzar Garcia. Jean Alvarez. Oh, there she is. Hey, Luz. Guadalupe Antonio. Miley Avila. Brianna Campoverde. Christopher Feliz. Beverly Flores. Stephanie Gallegos. Diana Gomez. Alexa Guevara. Oh, there's Sienna. Aisha Gutierrez Powery. Thank you. Mariel Hierro. Angeli Hurtado. Tomás Jiménez. Kelly Gibicura. Zadie Lopez. Jamie Macancela. Ashley Martinez. Jerely Miranda. Sheila Molina. Giancarlo Nájera. Hillary Peralta. Samuel Pérez. Kaylin Reyes Bello. Abigail Sabando. This is a good problem to have, right? Natalie Sukushanai. Anderson Torres. There he is. Jocelyn Vera. Lucy Johnson. So at this time, I'd like to highlight two students who have earned 2 seals of biliteracy for both Spanish and Italian. So in order to highlight this achievement, we'd like to present them with the Global Seal of Biliteracy certificate alongside their New York State Seal of Biliteracy certificate. Salome Arroyave, and Abraham Jara. Okay. Did I call everyone who came? Okay. Okay. Hillary Graciano Cruz. Oh, a lot more than we were expecting. Brittany Lema. Dylan Durang. We're 4 rows. We're going to be a 4th row deep. Paulina Illescas. John Hidrobo. Henry Naula. Marilexi Tenemasa. Next year, we'll have it at Madison Square Garden. I'm glad you came. Darielis Hierro. 2 more. And here's Simon Aguirre. and Jocelyn Vera. So we'd like to take a picture of them. Any ideas how we might be able to do this? Yeah. We're gonna have to make a U, make a, all around this way, all around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the way around.
No, you stand back there and they. No, you. Okay.
Now, before we move, I missed to do our Hackensack alma mater. Raise your hand if you know your alma mater. Oh, I know more people should know that. All right. So we are going to sing our Hackensack alma mater before you guys go back to your seats. I don't think you could hear me through here. Hold on. Here's this one. Okay, my apologies. So we're going to sing our Hackensack alma mater. I hope you guys can all help us out in singing this. And then I'd ask if you guys can just stay for just a little bit. We do have some refreshments for you, and we do have just one more presentation to do, and then you guys are free to go. Okay. So I will leave this up to Trustee Stein. Yes, let's stand, please. Trustee Stein, on your mark.
On my mark. Oh, Hackensack, your alma mater. For thee we raise the golden blue and strive to lift our banner high. In each and everything we do. And when we bring up to thy altar, please from football field and track, we'll make many hearts and voices in praise of Hackensack. Go Comets!
Thank you all. You may be seated. Thank you.
Congratulations. So at this time, we are going to continue with our student report from Zoe Gonzalez.
Yeah. Good evening. HHS held its annual prom last week at the Westmount Country Club. Over 400 students attended the event and a great time was had by all. Several pictures from the prom were posted at northjersey.com. This week, we are having our annual Senior Sports Award banquet at the Fiesta. The event will take place on Wednesday, June 17th at 7 p.m. This event honors all senior athletes and awards several scholarships to our senior athletes. Lastly, HHS graduation will take place on Tuesday, June 23rd at 10 a.m., weather permitting. The graduation ceremony will take place on the Tom Delatorre Field. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. And this is, so that everyone understands, this is also Zoe's last board meeting, and we want to thank her for her service. And Zoe will be going to Ramapo College in the fall. Congratulations. Wish you all the best of luck. And we'll be seeing you at graduation, Zoe. Thank you. We do have one more presentation. Thank you. Okay, so I do have an announcement to make. Sure. Okay, so we do have an announcement to make. So for this board meeting for June, we do have 2 board members who are concluding their term of service at this board meeting. And we wanted to take this moment to recognize their service to our district. So I will start off first with the recognition of Trustee Shivani Pringle. Tonight, we recognize Trustee Shivani Pringle as she concludes her service on the Hackensack Board of Education after 3 years of dedicated service to our students, staff, and community. From the moment she joined the board, Shivani was eager to learn and serve our district, eventually stepping forward to serve as the chairperson of Curriculum and Policy Committee. While she may not have always been the first person to speak, everyone listened to what she had to say when she did. Over the years, she has blossomed into a strong advocate for all students, ensuring that every decision she made was done through the lens of what would best serve all children and families. Her calm presence, thoughtful approach, and compassion have made her a respected colleague. While this may be her final regular board meeting at our district, we are grateful that she will continue celebrating with us through the remainder of the month for our end of the year student activities. Although her next journey may take her out of Hackensack, we know her comic connection will remain strong, and we hope she knows she will always have a place here. On behalf of the Hackensack Board of Education, administration, staff, students, and the entire Hackensack community, thank you, Trustee Pringle, for your leadership, your insight, children of this district. We wish you continued success and happiness and all that lies ahead. No. Right. Yeah.
Oh my God, I wasn't expecting all of that. I thought I was just gonna say my little speech. To my fellow trustees, dedicated educators, and the wonderful community of Hackensack. It has been one of my greatest privileges of my life to serve on this board. With heavy heart, now you know, I am stepping down as trustee as I will be relocating to assist my oldest daughter with my grandchildren due to health issues. Just know that my deep love and commitment to our students and to our schools will always remain. Serving this district has shown me firsthand the resilience of our students and the incredible heart of this town. Thank you for trusting me with your voice, your concerns, and your hopes for our children. While I will no longer be seated at the table, I will continue cheering for Comet Pride and supporting our schools from afar and through prayer. Thank you all so much, and I wish and pray for the very best to this board and to the families of Hackensack. Thank you. That's my baby girl.
Okay, next we have the recognition of trustee Mark Stein. Tonight, we honor trustee Mark Stein as he concludes an extraordinary chapter of public service dedicated to the students, families, and residents of Hackensack. His commitment to our community spans nearly 3 decades, including 16 years of distinguished service on the Hackensack City Council from 1989 to 2005, and nearly 13 years on the Hackensack Board of Education, serving from 2009 to 2018, and again from 2024 to the present. As the longest serving board member, oops, sorry. Phone call got in? I don't know how that happened. As the longest serving board member, Mark has provided leadership, wisdom, and continuity through some of the district's most significant moments. He served with distinction as both board president and vice president, always bringing a steady hand, a patient perspective, and unwavering belief in quality public education. What I will miss most about Trustee Stein, however, is not just his experience, but his personality. He has a way of lightening the mood with a joke at just the right moment, reminding us that even during difficult discussions, there was room for laughter and humanity. His sense of humor, paired with his thoughtful guidance, helped build relationships and foster collaboration among board members. Trustee Stein also never missed an opportunity to share his love for music and the arts. Whether advocating for arts education or reminiscing about his younger days, he often reminded us of his memories as a comet, including the time when he played in a band. If you can picture it, imagine Trustee Stein with long hair and a guitar. That creative spirit and appreciation for the arts have remained with him throughout his service and have influenced his belief in providing a well-rounded education for every student. Mark's wisdom, institutional knowledge, patience, and dedication have been invaluable assets to this board. He has mentored countless board members, provided a historical perspective when it was needed most, and never lost sight of the importance of service to students and the community. On behalf of the Hackensack Board of Education and the entire school community, we extend our deepest gratitude to Mark Stein for more than 13 years of service, leadership, friendship, and dedication. While his service on the board is coming to an end, we know his connection to Hackensack and our Comet community will continue. Trustee Stein, thank you for the wisdom, humor, and heart you brought to this board. We wish you all the best in this next chapter and look forward to seeing you at our board meetings, even if it's from the other side of the dais. As you continue to be a value member of the Hackensack community, just remember, you'll have 3 minutes on the microphone. We present to you this flag, trustee Mark Stein.
Thank you. I thought this would be a lot easier, but it's not. Tonight, I have not prepared a PowerPoint presentation, nor are these prepared comments. There comes a time when you look in the mirror and you realize that you have accomplished all that you have set out to do as a school district. It is difficult and with a heavy heart that it now is the time to resign as a school trustee, knowing that I will be handing off to very qualified trustees, knowing that they will carry on this district in the direction it deserves to be. Let me be clear. This decision is not because of the financial crisis that we find ourselves under. That was created by previous administrations and boards. Let me reassure you that my stepping down is not because of this financial situation. I would like to thank the Hackensack community for the trust you have placed in me. 4 terms, consecutive terms, 16 years as a city councilman and deputy mayor, and 4 terms, 12 years as a school trustee. It is this service to the community that I did not take lightly. To this board, I must say, I realize we have had a difficult time this past year, but it is reassuring that there are no personal agendas, that we have all worked hard for what is right for the staff, our community, and most importantly, our children. It is nice to see, oops, time to change the page, that we have grown together as a family, knowing that we will do, and it'll take some time, but in the end, we will succeed to reach a common goal. This is not to do with the board leadership. To Jennifer, you have had this board moving in the right direction. I thank you for your leadership and guidance. To my running mates of 3 years ago, my brother from another mother, Kenny Martin, to Shivani, I told her way back when I first got to meet her, when we are elected, see how the kids played together in the sandbox, and you will grow as a trustee. I have learned that in order to make appropriate decisions at time, I need to the trustees help me succeed. It would take much time to name all the people behind me. However, you are there. You know who you are. There is one person I need to call out. She has been a close confidant. I have known her for more than 50 years. She has been a close advisor, and she guided me to become the elected official that I have become. Her name is Lynn Horowitz, and to her I am truly appreciate of the guidance throughout the years. Being an only child, she is who I refer to as my adopted sister. Thank you, Lynn. I love you. Last but not least, my family. My mother was a 1940s graduate of Hackensack High School. Due to her teachers, she would become a registered nurse and would be ultimately the head of the maternity ward at Hackensack Hospital. I graduated from the Hackensack High School class of 1966. And through the guidance of my teachers, I would earn degrees in journalism and public relations from the University of Oklahoma. I could not be more proud of my children. My son, Sean's goal was to attend the United States Naval Academy. He and his wife, Nina, a technology teacher, have raised two wonderful girls, Rachel and Maya. A few weeks ago, Sean retired from the Navy and is now looking forward to the next chapter in his professional life. My daughter, Michelle, a 2001 graduate of HHS, was a teacher here for a number of years. Her teachers guided her into the teaching profession. Earning a degree in secondary math education from York College of Pennsylvania, she has earned a BA, 2 master's degrees in math, and administrative certification. She and her husband, Mike, a secondary ed history teacher, are raising my third granddaughter, Aurora. This is not the end of my chapter here in Hackensack. I will continue to live here and be a part of this great community. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to serve you. I'm truly appreciative. Thank you. Okay, you sure?
Okay. Thank you all for waiting at this time. We do have refreshments here for those that are here this evening and that would like to have some. And we are going to go into our executive session. Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education determines it necessary to meet an executive session on Tuesday, June 16th, 2026 to discuss legal, personnel, student-related matters, HIB reports, negotiations, and other confidential matters, and be it further resolved that these matters will be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Can I have a motion to go to executive?
A
please?
motion.
Motion by trustee Pringle, second by trustee Stein. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you all. It is 7 o'clock. If you can give us between 8:15 to come back to the public, and refreshments are now open. Thank you all. All right, good evening, everyone. We are back. Can I have a motion to reopen to the public session, please?
A motion.
Motion by trustee Pringle, second by trustee Gilmore. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay, so moving on to our agenda, we're still on the first page and on to our board president remarks. I do have a remark to say this evening. The Hackensack Board of Education is pleased to share an update regarding the Early Childhood Developmental Center, which is also known as ECDC. Following productive discussions with church leadership, the district and church have reached an agreement allowing ECDC to remain in its current location through June 30th of 2027, at which time the lease will conclude. This timeline provides the district with the necessary time to thoughtfully plan for a smooth transition of students and staff to future locations. This agreement is particularly significant because the district first entered into a lease with ECDC in 2013 with the understanding that the location would serve as a temporary home for our early childhood students. What was intended to be short-term solution ultimately became a long-term arrangement spanning more than a decade. During that time, the district invested millions of taxpayer dollars into this facility to support the educational needs of our youngest learners. Today, we are finally able to establish a clear path toward the conclusion of this long-standing agreement and begin planning for the next chapter of early childhood education in Hackensack. Equally important, the agreement delivers significant savings for taxpayers, including a 50% reduction in rent, saving more than $337,000, a reduction in utility costs from 90% to 50%, saving an estimated $30,000. Reduced responsibility for major building repairs, including roof and plumbing projects that will now be largely covered by the church. The elimination of mandatory custodial overtime costs is also in this agreement. Families and staff can be assured that this additional year ensures stability for the 26-27 school year, while also allowing the district time to develop a comprehensive transition plan. By June 2027, the district will have a clear and supported plan in place for students, families, and staff moving forward. As we have previously stated, the board and administration are committed to identifying additional cost savings opportunities whenever possible. This renegotiation of our ECDC lease has resulted in at least $400,000 in additional savings and ensures that we provide a responsible transition for our preschool classes, bringing our pre-K students back to our schools as was always intended. We appreciate the collaborative spirit of this agreement and remain committed to both student success and responsible fiscal management. We will continue to keep our ECDC families and staff and community informed as planning progresses. On to our second update. So if you tuned in earlier, we recognized that for this meeting will be the end of Trustee Pringle and Trustee Stein's term. The board has 65 days to fill this vacancy. And so that the public is aware, so the board has 65 days to fill the vacancy. And so the public is aware to be on the lookout for interview dates. Okay. So that means that we are filling in two seats, and those dates will be coming at a later date. All right. So that is the end of my remarks. We're going to move on to the second page of our agenda. And onto our presentations and business reports. So we will start off with the presentation of the official 24-25 school self-assessment for determining grades under the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights Act. The presenters are Heather Coleman, who is our anti-bullying specialist, Nicole Adams,
principal of Fairmount School, and Ralph Dana, who is our school safety coordinator. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, President Harris, Board Trustees. Hello. So, Ms. Coleman and Mr. Donna and myself, we're going to go over the student safety mid-year report, and Ms. Coleman is going to present the HIB final grades report, and Mr. Donna will complete some security and safety updates to share with you this evening. So I'm going to start off with the SSDS mid-year report. So the first two slides are comparative slides. We report this data in two different parts of the school year. September to December is the first reporting period, and that's the mid-year report. So what we wanted to show you tonight is comparative slides from last school year and then this school year. So our enrollment, as the superintendent goes over and reviews every board meeting, is a little over 5,000 students. So if you look at the totals from last year and from this year, you can see that the total incidents under SSDS and those leading to other removals, those are any incidents that don't fall within the SSDS categories, but lead to students being removed for at least half of their instructional program. So as you can see under these category totals for SSDS and for those incidents highlighted under incidents that lead to student removal and HIB alleged, that's less than 1% of our student population. And our reporting period from September to December of 2025, this school year, shows a reduction of incidents being reported. Specifically under weapons, we're down 7 incidents. Under SSDS totals, we are down 10 incidents. Under other incidents leading to removal, we are showing a decrease in 5 incidents, and we are also showing a decrease in HIB allegations as well, showing a decrease of 6 incidents. So as a district, this is something that we should be very proud of. This is the real work of the teachers, the counselors, the paraeducators, our CST members, our school monitors, and our administrators working really hard and collaborating with our families and our young people to help them to make positive decisions. This is the result of consistent check-ins with our students. You can go to the next slide. Specifically highlighted in our programs and the trainings that we complete for our staff on updates with HIB, but also on programming, recognition ceremonies for our young people and encouraging them. So I really, really am proud and pleased with the work that's been done in all of the schools, really, because it really is a testament to how students are showing up as the best version of themselves. And as I highlighted in the previous slide, there's a significant decrease in the number of incidents, and that is reflective of the hard work of all of the folks in the buildings. So I will now turn it over to Ms. Coleman to present the approved HIB grades.
Thank you. So this is the state of New Jersey mandates that each school must annually conduct a self-assessment consisting of 8 categories of questions commonly collectively known as HIB grades. The scores are averaged across the district to come up with a district average. Out of 78 possible points, we received a score of 71. The district already presented these scores in October of 2025 to the Board of Education as we're required to do so. Tonight, we are merely presenting the final scores received by the state and approved by the state, as well as notifying everyone that these scores are available on our district website under the HIB tab, where you can also access previous year's scores. The scores each year are then used to drive interventions, programs, and strategies around HIV as well as culture and climate for the following school year. One item that must be noted, there's an asterisk in one of the categories. When the high school submitted their data to the state last year, inadvertently, the preliminary determination box was not checked off. So when it received the final score, we need to note to the Board of Education that we do, in fact, use the preliminary determination when conducting HIB investigations. So in the 2024-2025 school year, there were 11 high school cases that were outside of the definitions of HIB and handled in different ways. And these numbers are also reflective on each of our board agendas as well. So just to note that as well. So thank you. And Mr. Dana is going to present the safety data.
Thank you, Ms. Coleman. Next slide. Well, it's not clicking. Okay, it's not clicking. All right, so I'll go ahead with the update until we get, oh, there we go. Okay, so some of these updates are going to be known to you because they were approved by this very board. Hackensack High School alarm system, for instance, the previous system needed replacement in certain areas. Again, without getting into specifics, an upgrade was done. It was installed. We did a first phase, and it was done in such a way that if and when the time comes where we need to build off of that, then it'll work. It'll have cohesiveness where we can just continue to do that. But right now, everything's working fine with it. Next, Jackson Ave. Earlier in the year, a few of the staff members expressed concern during dismissal that, you know, when they're letting students out, it's kind of easy for someone, if they want to slide right in, you know, in the crowd. So an easy solution for that. We had a larger project that was originally planned, but we realized that we had the capacity to fix the foyer where we can just put push bars on it, and we turned it into a secure foyer, you know, commonly known as a man trap. It's working out very well. They've had it for the whole year, and we haven't had too many complaints about it. You know, everyone's pretty happy. Not thank you yet, but this the security team at Parker, there's another slide. They were also busy. One of the key things that have been identified is the numbering system with exterior doors. That's the photo all the way to the left. And the middle one also, where we put numbers around the school. We numbered it using the best practices from Department of Ed, New Jersey, and school safety. And now there's a giant poster size number around every door. Dr. Galliano was very quick to give the support behind that. We got it going really quick. Next, let me see, critical reference guide. That's the CRG mapping. We're required to have mapping for all schools. We update that every year, and it's a solid update to do because it forces you and the team at every school to get eyes on exactly what's going on in the school, any changes physically, moving certain items in the school that should be marked on a map. And then we in turn provide that with law enforcement. So again, this is all required stuff, but it forces you to continuously look at your buildings, which is a good thing. Go next slide. There we go. Behavioral threat assessment management teams, all schools have them. The respective teams have been updated. We will continue to update them with any staffing changes that there may be to make sure we're still in compliance. Risk and vulnerability assessments have already been completed at the largest schools. Fairmount's most recently has been done. Hiller's right in the middle of that one. And anticipate being done with the rest of them by June, maybe into July a little bit. We are required to do these once a year. And again, that's just another aspect where everyone gets eyes on, from the administrators to teachers, custodians, and the security team. So it's really good because with an all hands approach, everyone sees what's going on. Security drilling, we will be in compliance very shortly. Drills are getting done, all the required ones. We anticipate having our June 30th report to the county prosecutors. There will be no issues with that. Just wrapping up this final week. After school events, the major thing we've had was the varsity basketball playoff run that we had was a great run. We had, because of the size of the event, we had a lot of spectators there that normally we don't get for regular games. It was very well welcomed, but we did have an after action review because we recognize there are things we can do better. One of the key takeaways was looking at the clothing, what any kind of clothing items or writing on clothing that students may have. And our goal is to just have people wearing proper attire, making everything as safe as we can be. And then lastly, we're we have looked at how we would do after school events or events where others are using our facilities. And we came up some criteria with that to hold them accountable and make sure that our buildings are being used in a secure and safe fashion and not at our expense. So that's pretty much it for now. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Anyone from the board? All right, excellent. Moving on to our reimagining presentation. And our presenters are our acting superintendent, Andrea Oates Parchment, along with the central office administrators.
Good evening, everyone. We are excited to begin to share with the public our plans for the upcoming school year. I'm very happy and pleased that we had a team. We have a team which we have defined as the Reimagining team, 14 staff members and one lead teacher who is here tonight with us, Laura Martin. Anyone else from our Reimagining team? And this team was wonderful. We met and we received input from this team about what was important to present to the public. And this will be ongoing. As we stated, or I stated a few months ago, that we would have a plan about how 2026, 2027 would look going forward. And so we are beginning to share parts of that plan. We thought it was best to give you smaller portions. And tonight, we wanted to really zoom in with our most important clients, and that is our parents and our students. So it's more geared toward information that they would want and some information that the public would want. So we will talk about enrollment and staffing, district administration for the upcoming school year, our instructional programs from the multilingual department, curriculum, our curriculum and instruction in general, our special education update, school safety, and a timeline for what to expect from now until September. So I am going to hand this over to our team and they will present. But I really want to give a round of applause to our Reimagining team and the administrators who also sit on the team. Without them, we could not be successful. We have met 2 times and we have our next meeting next week. So thank you very much and we'll get started.
Good evening, everybody. And I'm going to get started with an overview of our enrollment, the why we are all here, our students. And enrollment is a driver of many things, including staffing needs, as well as our state aid. So I'd like you to keep that in mind. And so as we move forward, we're looking back 1819 through present. So we have a wide overview of the years behind us and to where we are today. So for the 1819 school year, we had a total student enrollment. That means the number of students we serviced in district in Hackensack Public Schools was at 5,795 students. That enrollment started going down. And if you remember, Maywood students started leaving the high school. Why? Because Maywood at the time moved to another district. So we lost one of our unfortunately, we lost one of our sending districts. The following year, our enrollment went down. And as you could see, I'm not going to read each of those numbers to you, but it continued to go down. By 2021, 2022, we were at 5,338 students. That's well over 400 students, or the equivalent of a full elementary school, approximately. In the 22-23 school year, enrollment continued going down, 5,219. The following year, it went up. So we went up over 50 students. We were up to 5,301 students. And as you can see, we are currently this year, as of today, our superintendent's report today includes student enrollment that shows 5,046 students currently being serviced in our schools in district. The projections for next year are at 4,926. Again, those are just projections. We are actually hoping for the opposite and hoping that our enrollment stays steady. So the key takeaways between 18-19 and today, our enrollment has decreased approximately 15%. How does this impact student-teacher ratios? In 2018-19, we had a student-teacher ratio of about 13 students to one teacher. It's just about 13.5. The following year, in 2019-20, that teacher-student ratio went down to 12.8 students for one teacher. And that pretty much stayed, if you could see our bars across, pretty steady 2021, 21, 22, 22, 23. In 23, 24, it was at 12.1 students to one teacher. In the 24-25 school year, that went down below 12 to 11.9. And again, our staffing remained pretty consistent because enrollment was decreasing. This current school year, so last year we had 11.9 students to one teacher. This year, the average 11.4 to one teacher. And by the way, this student-teacher ratio and the data I'm sharing with you was taken from our New Jersey schools report card from the state report. Due to the current budget deficit and the RIFs that we've had, unfortunately, to make for next year, with the projected enrollment and the staffing that we currently have as approved for next year, our student to teacher ratio is 12.8 to one teacher. So the key takeaway in all of this, we have pretty much maintained a trend toward a lower student to teacher ratio, even moving into the 26-27 school year as compared to 18-19. So in addition to teachers, let's look at our administrator student ratio. In 2018-19, our student to administrator ratio was 170.4. That's 170 students to one administrator. In the 1920 school year, it went up slightly, but otherwise it stayed pretty much the same In 21-22, it went up. If you recall from our previous slide, enrollment had started to come down. This came up because in the 21-22 school year at that time, the superintendent restructured our administrative structure and eliminated some assistant principal positions, making assistant principals shared at the elementary level, which caused that spike. When those assistant principals came back into our administrative structure for the 22-23 school year, the ratio there is 149.1 students to an administrator. And as you can see, it stayed steady for 2 years. It fell in 24-25 to 139 students to an administrator. And that is because we added additional positions in the 24-25 school year to our administrative structure, bringing the student administrator ratio this year to 129.4 students to one administrator. Again, that's also impacted by our lower enrollment. I shared with you that the agenda you have before you today shows an enrollment, total student enrollment of 5,046 students. The May 2025 student enrollment was 5,290. You don't have that in front of you. It was last year's agenda, May agenda. So that enrollment alone impacts this, where our student to administrator ratio comes down to 129 students to one administrator because we have less students. For next year, again, due to RIFs and the restructuring, we are going back up to 164.3 students to one administrator. However, the key takeaway, this ratio is still slightly lower than it was in 2018-19. So let's look at our elementary enrollment specifically and where we are over the years. Back in 2018-19, we had an elementary total enrollment, and you see the schools, their colors if you're interested, starting Fairmount at the top with the darker blue, FS for Fairmount School, Fannie Meyer Hiller, sorry, with the darker blue. FS is Fairmount School, coming down to the lighter shade to Jackson, and the lightest shade represented on there is Nellie K. Parker. The total enrollment across our elementary schools in 2018-19 was 2,057 students. This year, it's 1,833 students. And the difference is, back in 2018-19, we didn't have pre-K classes like the pre-K classes we have now, including additional special ed classes at our elementary schools. Looking across from left to right, the total enrollment at the elementary level today stands at 1,833 students. Key takeaway, the difference is 11% fewer students this year. Now we're going to look at programmatically, what does this look like in special education? In 2018-19 school year, we had a total of 490 students with IEPs. Today, we have 5,079. So of the 5,046 students, 5,079 are special ed. And the breakdown at each elementary school, as you can see, at Fannie Meyer Hillers, that's 26% of their student population. At Fairmount School, that's 32%. At Jackson, that's 36%. At Nellie K, it is 34%. So student enrollment in our special ed programs has grown by an average of 2% over the years. Jackson has the highest percentage with 36%, and Fannie Meyer Hillers the lowest at 26%. And a lot of that has to do with the programs available at those schools and the students attending the program that's most appropriate for their needs. And finally, a look at our multilingual enrollment at the elementary level. In 2018-19, we had a total population of 323 multilingual learners at the elementary level. This year, it is currently at 493. The breakdown by each elementary school is shown, and I'm not going to read that. The highlight really is in that key takeaway. The enrollment has grown an average of just over 5.5% over the last 8 years. And with Jackson Avenue having the highest percentage of multilinguals, Fairmount having the lowest. But an important note highlighted at the bottom with the asterisks is that during the 2023-2024 school year, we started multilingual testing at the pre-K level. And prior to that, the state only required testing or mandated testing starting in kindergarten, which also impacted the enrollment percentages. Thank you. I'm going to pass this on to my colleague, Ms. Diaz. Yes. Oh, I think you got there.
Good evening, everyone, board members, members of the public that are here with us. We're going to talk to you a little bit about our district administrators that we have for what we're going to have for the 26-27 school year. So in our central office administration, we have our acting superintendent, Ms. Oates Parchment. Our assistant superintendent will be Rosemary Marks. In our buildings and grounds department, our assistant director, Chuck Fields. In our business office, we are joined by our new interim BA, Dr. Dennis, and Ms. Lindy Tagastra will be continuing her role as the assistant business administrator. Human resources, little old me. I'll be there with you guys for next year. Mr. Dana will continue in his role as the school safety coordinator, and Mr. Blinder will continue as the executive director of technology. Our district directors and supervisors in curriculum instruction. Ms. Zanusky is going to be heading our curriculum instruction department and joined by Mr. Hassan, supervisor of math, Mr. Del Vecchio as supervisor of science and CTE, and Ms. Rosa Panuccio as supervisor of ELA. Additionally, Ms. Moncloa will continue in her role as the director of multilingual and world language education. And our special services team will be headed up by Mr. Pemberton and the supervisor of special services, Ms. Bader. At our building and our building levels, of course, we have our program, ECDC. Ms. Petrin Wall will continue in her role as a director. Ms. Saran Sinat will be joining as a supervisor, not joining, but continuing her role as a supervisor. At Fairmount, Ms. Adams will continue as the principal. New for 26-27 is we're going to have shared elementary assistant principals. So Ms. Service will be returning to her position as an assistant principal effective August 1st. And she will be sharing that role, which we'll get to the next slide when we get to Jackson Avenue, not the next slide, but the next bullet over Jackson Avenue. And Hillers, Dr. Soto will continue in her role as the principal at Hillers. And similarly, we'll be sharing assistant principal role with Ms. Madden, who will be shared with Nellie K. Parker. Jackson Ave principal is currently vacant. Well, not currently vacant, but will be vacant effective July 1st. Ms. Petronwald is a recommendation for her to continue in her acting role for the month of July on this evening's agenda. And we anticipate on having a recommendation from Superintendent Parchment for the July meeting for someone who's going to be fulfilling that role. Ms. Service, as I mentioned earlier, she'll be shared with Fairmount and Jackson effective on August the 1st. And Dr. Galliano will be at Nellie K. Parker and will be joined by Ms. Madden as an assistant principal. And those are esteemed district administrators at the elementary level. At the middle school and high school, Dr. Dorsey Whiting will continue at the middle school. Joining her will be Mr. Johnson and Ms. Morel in their assistant principal roles. And at the high school, Mr. Montesano will continue as principal and joined by Mr. King and Ms. Patty Lozano as assistant principals. And then we will go, I can't see Chris. Well, there he is. We'll go on to the next area. And we'll be joining by a director of our rural education program, Ms. Moncloa.
Good evening. For the 26-27 school year, we will continue placing multilingual students, identifying them, placing them. We do a lot of that work in the summer, but it's continuous throughout the school year. We screen them. We communicate to parents about their options for programs for their students. And then we use access scores that are coming on Thursday to advise assistant principals at the elementaries and school counselors at the middle school and high school where to place multilingual students. Our ESL program will continue to invest in the curriculum that we purchased, which is Vista Higher Learning, SAIL, SOAR, and Connect at the elementary levels, which bridges all the levels from newcomer to WIDA level 4. At the middle school, the programs are called Get Ready, Get Reading, and Bridges. They're very rigorous programs. And at the high school, Get Ready is the newcomer program, and Engage is that rigorous ESL program that really does mirror the ELA curriculum, along with the other WIDA disciplines of math, science, social studies, and ELA. In the elementary, ESL continues to be a pull-out program for sheltered students. So, and for all multilinguals, they has 40 minutes of daily mandated ESL instruction. At the middle school and high school, it's a core class, so it is a period. And some students at the high school will continue to have high intensity ESL, which is 2 periods of ESL. This year, we will offer bilingual ELA, and those students will not have that second period of ELA. In March 2027, we'll have the access test for English language proficiency, which again sets the ball rolling again in terms of placement, and it kind of gives us our numbers. We have projected numbers, but the access gives us our actual numbers. That'll be this coming, by the end of the week, we'll have that. In terms of bilingual education, full-time bilingual education, that is, at the elementary level, full-time programs, we have seen a reduction in enrollment. You saw an increase in multilingual enrollment, but this slide is about full-time bilingual, the language instructional program specifically, and those numbers are reduced. So our department, like all the other departments, was affected by the rifts and reductions in staffing. So and we looked at numbers, and at Fannie Meyer Hillers, our bilingual program will continue to be single grade in kindergarten 1 and 2, but will be a combined grade in grades 3, 4, as enrollment warrants those numbers. At Parker, we will have single grade kindergarten, but mixed grades 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So similar to what we had 3 to 4 years ago, 21. In 2021 is when, up until 2021, we had mixed grades in this district. We're going back to that for next year. At Jackson Avenue, our kindergarten program continues to be single grade. 1 and 2 will be mixed grade, and grades 3 and 4 will be mixed grade. And at Fairmount, we continue to have ESL programming with not the bilingual program there. Again, the full-time bilingual language instruction educational program in middle and high. We have a full bilingual program. So we offer bilingual ELA, math, social studies, and science. At the high school, we'll have bilingual ELA for the first time in many years that I know of. We'll be offering bilingual ELA and we'll be in 100% full compliance at the high school for what the state calls the gold standard of bilingual programming, which is a full-time bilingual program with 4 core subjects. For world language, so the elementary was affected, our elementary world language program. Students will work with self-paced learning units during one marking period of Library Media Center, similar to what they did this year, except that this year we will no longer have a dedicated world language teacher at the elementary level. Will be like several other districts in the state that have self-paced learning units at elementary. It was not our wish. It was just another consequence of the crisis that we're undergoing. In the middle school, we did have a reduction in staff, but we still will continue with the same exact programming as before. We'll just have higher class sizes. Like everyone else, we'll still continue to offer Spanish, grades 5 through 8, Heritage Spanish in grades 5 through 8, and we'll introduce French and Italian in grades 7 and 8. This year, students will have world language either day 1 or day 2 for the full year. So 2 semesters, but alternating days for the full year. High school, we did have a reduction in programs due to low enrollment. So if the class, there was a request for a particular class, but it was only 5 students, we could not offer the class. Or in one case, it was 7 students. We didn't offer the class. And we did have, therefore, a reduction in staffing. We still continue to offer Spanish 1 through 4, including honors. 2 to 4, we are offering Heritage Spanish 1 through 3, AP Spanish Language, French 1 through 3, and Italian 1 through 3. As everyone knows, as a reminder, 1 year of high school world language is mandatory and it's a graduation requirement. Beyond that, students, that want to take more language do so, and it's looked on favorably in their college applications. Continuing in world language, in our instructional resources, we are going to look to Vista Higher Learning and exploring perhaps other less costly. Vista Higher Learning offers a very high product, but at a very high price. We are purchasing Little Pim for KN1, which is highly developmentally appropriate, and Mango. We continue to support teachers with classroom supplies from our local budget. We will fund the Seal of Biliteracy testing licenses, which, have high payoff for our students, and the supplies for the ceremony. And we sponsor French, Italian, and Spanish membership and supplies for their honor societies. We hope to be able to provide funding for our AP Summer Institutes, as we've done in the past. And with Vista Higher Learning, we can purchase, and some of their products come with some free professional development. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Hi. I'm here to talk about curriculum and instruction. So what you'll see here and on the next slide is a little bit redundant. It's actually the same thing that we had talked about when we were presenting the budget. We are very fortunate that no changes have been made to core instructional programming due to the crisis, due to the fiscal crisis. So core instruction is being maintained. What we have here as a committee, we decided to just review with everyone what we will be funding for the upcoming school year. So just as a reminder, we are for our instructional resources at the K-4 level. HMH, we're continuing our final year of our 3-year contract. Cursive handwriting will be infused into grades 3 and 4. We have our universal early literacy screener. We are looking to make a switch, so we'll be looking at that decision sometime soon in the very near future. Tomorrow we're meeting as a committee. Wilson Reading Foundations and Fun Hub, we will be continuing with that, and then science resources. From a curriculum development standpoint, it's going to be a very, very busy summer for us. There has been tons of curriculum writing postings that have gone up, but here's just a glimpse of the major projects that we will be undertaking this summer at the K-4 level. So all of science, K through 12, will be rewritten because we have new standards. The K-4 health curriculum will be rewritten because now our classroom teachers will be teaching that. Grades 3 and 4, again, we're doing our cursive handwriting mandate. We have to follow that, so that'll be infused, and we have to make some upgrades there. And K through 4 media, we will be writing a curriculum, and our K through 5 gifted and talented, actually K through 8 gifted and talented program will be revamped as well. From a PD standpoint, these are the things that we will be engaging in over the course of the next school year. We are going to, of course, once we receive title funds, and if we receive Title II funds, we will be leaning into that to fund the majority of our PD initiatives for the upcoming school year. It is important to note that we did receive a $200,000 impact grant from the state of New Jersey, from the Department of Education, to fund our quest for highly qualified instructional materials in the area of literacy instruction. So that will impact our K through 5 world. And we are looking to pilot high quality instructional materials for literacy and begin our literacy initiative starting next year as we look to, as our contract with HMH comes to an end. And that's just a standard operating procedure that most districts go through. We just have the benefit of having now $200,000 to fund that, purchasing in PD and the pilot itself, which is a lovely, lovely thing. For grades 5 through 12, again, this is what we will be embarking on and for next year. Again, like I said, HMH is coming to an end, but we still have one last year. Cursive handwriting is in grade 5 as well because it is a 3 through 5 mandate. We're looking to switch universal skills screeners, so we are looking into that. We are going to be purchasing high interest decodable texts for our students in ELA, and then of course replenishing all consumable materials. Again, curriculum, science, ELA in grade 5 for the handwriting mandate, and then various projects for math, visual, performing arts, and as to be determined. For PD, again, we are going to be leaning into Title II funds when they come in and if they come in, but our AP leadership workshops and summer institutes we already have funds allocated to that, and the supervisor teams have come up with, various PD activities focused on evidence-based literacy practices, open SciEd and ambitious science teaching, and of course, New Jersey Amistad Commission offers a multitude of free workshops for teachers as well. And that's it for curriculum and instruction.
Before we go to our next presentation, and I'll wait for Chris to pull that up, I do need a motion to extend the meeting past 10 o'clock. Motion by Trustee Stein, and a second? Second by Trustee Pringle. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Okay. Next presentation.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Darius Pemberton, Director of Special Services. There we go. So tonight we're going to talk about, just to provide clarity on a few areas, starting with our new partnership with the jointure what that means and our shared vision. We'll talk about paraprofessional staffing for next year. We'll talk a little bit about the current professional workforce also. Then we'll talk about IEP services for students and also just special education class sizes as we move forward for the 26-27 school year. So first, a lot of in prior meetings, I think a lot of the talk was about us going that Southburg and Jointship is a vendor. They're actually not a vendor. They're their own educational association, and we are partnering with them. And it's a great partnership also because their superintendent, Dr. Kuchar, is actually the 2026 Bergen County Superintendent of the Year. So now we're going to partner with Ms. Parchment and myself sit on the boards at the Jointship. So now we have two superintendents, if you think of it that way, to service our students and the services. So I'll sit on their special ed directors board, and Ms. Parchment will sit on the superintendent's board. The Jointship itself is a special education school district. So with a partnership, there are certain perks and priority seating we can take advantage of with them. They have campuses. Another benefit is both of our sending districts are part of the Jointship. So there'll be some savings there and also some shared services with transportation. We've been using the Jointship for transportation for the last 3 school years, but now we're just expanding that. All of their services, the related services, as you know, we'll be sharing through the Jointship. Specialized classroom programs, ESY programming, they'll be able to fully staff us. And like I said, we already use them for transportation. So here's just some of the benefits. The cost-effective services, they're fully staffed as a district. They also have professional development for our staff that we share the cost among 19 other school districts. They're experienced at doing this work, so they have 30 plus years of experience doing it. Continuity of care. With these services, everything in the student's IEP, there's no change. We're not amending IEPs because of this or anything of that nature. Their mission aligns with our mission and vision of LRE, the least restrictive environment. So we're aligned there. And then myself and the superintendent, we get to sit on their board. So we got 19 other districts to collaborate with services, ideas, moving forward. So another thing that we talked about was the difference from moving the staff numbers to full-time to part-time paraprofessionals. So basically the difference is the work schedule, not services to children. So we haven't had to amend IEPs and things of that nature of how many minutes per day you're with a paraprofessional. The difference in the workday is approximately 20 minutes per day, but that's not contact time with children. Some people call them fun facts, but just so people are aware, 2/3 of our paraprofessionals that were currently working with children for the last 3 years were part-time paraprofessionals. Right, so we're looking at the other third of the staff is that we move from full-time to part-time. So we already have schedules for part-time paraprofessionals. There's a smooth implementation because a large amount of them were already in our schools. So the infrastructure, the scheduling, how we supervise them, all of that would remain. So something I get emails about, questions at CPAG. So due to the shortfall, we've made no IEP adjustment. All the services and IEPs will be provided next school year the same way they were this year, and all the parental rights are protected. So the parents still have every right to file or do anything they normally would. There's no action to be taken because we're not amending IEPs in any gross nature. We're not reduction in minutes. We're not reducing paraprofessional staff. We're not asking the county for any waivers. I don't want to steal my next slide, but all of our class sizes and self-contained classes and our ratios are fully compliant. We haven't asked for any caseloads will go up for case managers because there's less of them. But for the students in actual or self-contained classes, they're all under the state code maximum. So in summary, you just reminded the South Bergen Joint is not a vendor. They're our partner. And we sit on their boards. 2/3 of the paraprofessionals were already part-time. Just want to reiterate to the parents, we're in full compliance with all of the class size regulations and codes. We have not reached out to anyone for a waiver to increase class sizes or ratios at all. And no IEPs are, I'm happy to announce actually that we haven't had to make any adjustments due to the shortfall. That's it.
Good evening. Good night, whatever you want to look at it. Quickly, this is pretty much just a encore, I guess, of my previous presentation, but just to kind of reemphasize, we haven't changed anything as far as our athletic outlook goes for 2026, 2027. Again, we were targeted with, looking at some of our expenditures to see where we can kind of bridge the gap a little bit to kind of, help with the shortfall, the budgetary shortfall. But our process was to be as equitable as possible and to have as limited impact on children as we could. One of the things we really looked at, for each sport was just the overall enrollment. For instance, football hasn't had a freshman program in the past couple of years, and yet they still had freshman coaches. So it was kind of an easy reduction there. A lot of teams that we even play don't have freshman programs. So what we did was they call it freshmores now. So it's freshmen and sophomores. They kind of play against 9th and 10th graders. And again, talking to the coaches, all the coaches, they were great. But I got in particular, I'll mention Coach Resto because he said he may have enough freshmen for a full freshman program, but he said, we'll just pull double duty. Or some of our JV coaches will coach the freshmen that we have. Again, women's soccer was kind of in the same situation. In all 3 levels, they've only had 27 participants. So we reduced them a coach as well. And then the same kind of principle for women's tennis as well. Basketball, it was pretty much the same. Now, some of the programs, such as men's basketball, has 3 full levels. They actually make cuts at all 3 levels. So we didn't think it was prudent to kind of cut a coach there, but we did cut the varsity assistant. So there'll only be 1 varsity assistant. But usually the way the games go, it's 4 o'clock, 5:30, and 7. The JV coach sits with the varsity coach at the next game, so that kind of doesn't really impact Coach Taylor too much. For women's basketball, again, 15 total participants in the program. We're looking to obviously grow that, but as of right now, it looks like it's going to be kind of continuous for next year. So they didn't have a freshman program, and they barely had a JV program, so we're kind of just monitoring that as well. And then again, a couple of other sports, just to mention, swimming, we are combined with TNEC, so they actually provide a coach as well. So it's kind of it kind of worked out in our favor where we could reduce a coach and still help, maintain the integrity of the program there. Spring was pretty much the same as well. Baseball, softball don't have freshman programs. They haven't for the past couple of years. In talking to some of the coaches, they may have, baseball in particular, may have enough for a freshman team, but we'll kind of cross that bridge when we come to it. And again, the fortunate part is it is a spring sport, so we have some time to kind of look at the numbers there. And then spring track, they're going to reduce by 1, but they still have a lot of participants. So they still have 5 assistants and the head coach. So, kind of worked out that way as well. The unfortunate thing is we did eliminate golf or shelve golf, I would say, for a year. We're looking at some other opportunities for some of our kids, especially underclassmen. I think there's 4 underclassmen that remain. So we're looking for some opportunities to kind of get them, the exposure and just the opportunity to play golf at the high school level. That was, again, this kind of our goal at the end of this. And I told all the coaches, and they were wonderful to work with. Again, it's not the easiest news to say, hey, your budget's going to be cut. And also we're going to be taking a coach away. But our goal is to obviously maintain the integrity of the programs and eventually build them back to full strength. And that's our priority. Thank you.
Ralph Dana, school safety coordinator. Hello again. So, first and foremost, we're not going to dive too deeply into the specifics of how we run security within district. It's just not prudent to do that. Go with the next slide, please. Oh, I got the quick hang on. You got me? All right. Thank you, Chris. So, SROs, school resource or source officers, yeah, they'll be in district next year. We're gonna have them, from time to time, you may see a different SRO in the school, the students, but for the most part, it's going to be the same, and there's going to be coverage throughout the district. If you look a little lower, Hackensack PD, FD support, that's 1000% true. Even though we have the SROs, the regular guys from the police department, patrol, they show up on our drills. It's not required they show up on all the drills, but they do a wonderful job. Fire department, I've seen them at a tremendous amount of our fire drills. The lead program that's taught by the School Threat Assessment and Crime Prevention Bureau of Hackensack Police Department, Law Enforcement Against Drugs and Violence program. They're going to be teaching that in curriculum with third and fifth graders. Go back to the updated security teams. We have one at every school. And it's, again, a multi-disciplined team comprised of multiple staff members, all different types of roles. So we get everyone's input and we tailor that to each school to their needs. A little lower, safety and security plans, something that we do every year. Again, without going specifics, we update these, we tailor them to each school. It's required. It's the playbook, so to speak. Myself and the other administrators, we meet up with the team. We go over things. I'm very coordinated regarding the drills with the assistant principals that will be floating or that will be with multiple schools to try to come up with the coverage for the drills that I'll take more of that responsibility on so they can concentrate more on the work that they need to do. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I want to end with this slide, just sharing the expectations, timeline and expectations just for the next few months. So important information handout. As I said before, our team, our Reimagining team of facilitators and our lead facilitator came up with a wonderful idea to have a one-page handout for our parents, and parents will receive that handout on or before June 30th. And what will be included in that one-page handout, you'll find out specific information about the principal and assistant principal assignments, number of teachers assigned, student enrollment numbers, programming details, and then school-specific information that the principals and the program director would want to share. And you will have each parent, all of our parents will have a meeting in person. We have many of the dates already established where the principals and the program director will go over information about that one pager. So July 21st, we have Jackson parent meeting, July 22nd, Fairmount parent meeting, and there's a Board of Education meeting, but that might be changed. And July 23rd, high school parent meeting, July 27th, Parker parent meeting. Pillars and middle school meetings will be determined and you will receive information from the principals. District administrators will continue to plan meetings throughout the summer because we know there are a lot of changes and will be working collaboratively together. And we also have access placement testing. For August, we have a Board of Education meeting. On August 25th, ECDC will have their parent informational meeting and not in July. Fifth grade orientation at Hackensack Middle School. The date is to be determined, but these are the things that will happen in August. freshman orientation at Hackensack High School, kindergarten orientation, and student schedules distributed to all families or through Genesis. And to kick off the school year for 2026-2027, first day of school for students is before Labor Day. And you see the back to school nights listed. September 4th, ECDC, September 15th, elementary schools, September 16th, middle school, September 17th, high school, and our Board of Education meeting. And our marking period report card calendars will be issued to families in September. So I want to again just thank everyone, all of the team for presenting. And I know I'm putting her on the spot. I asked her to just say a few words because our facilitator, Laura Martin, has really been inspirational. She's kept us together. This team is going to continue to not just do presentations, but also to give us input on some of the areas where we know we need to address. So that's twofold for the team. But I just want to give her opportunity because she has worked tirelessly and she's like our right hand. So just say a few words. I caught her off guard, so.
Since one of two board meetings I wasn't planning on speaking at. Now I got a couple things. So yeah, my name is Laura Martin. I've been elected the team lead for this committee. I want to start by acknowledging the fabulous people who are on that committee. It is 14 other teachers and myself, and I shouldn't say teachers. I really should say they represent a true cross-section of our district. They come from all the different buildings. They aren't just teachers. They're child study team, they're counselors, but we represent everybody. And it's not just people too who are employees. A number of us on the committee are also family members, parents, graduates. So we have a really fabulous cross-section of our community represented in the room where we're talking. Beyond that, as Ms. Parson alluded to, we really have a twofold goal for the committee. One is to make sure that we are improving communication and sharing with you all the plans that are being generated as we speak for the district for the coming year. And then the second prong of that is also to work collaboratively to troubleshoot issues that we foresee potentially becoming an issue next year. The 15 of us live in our buildings. We know them intimately. We know our students intimately. And so we want to make sure that anything that we foresee as potentially being an issue, we try to catch it early, propose solutions to it early. So that way, you know, we hit the ground running in September and hopefully things go relatively smoothly. In terms of dissemination of information, what we decided as a committee over the past couple of weeks was to focus our energies tonight on the macro level presentation to talk about the different elements that were going to affect multiple, if not all buildings. So that was the presentation that was shared tonight. Things like athletics and special education, bilingual. These are things that affect, most, if not all of the district. We decided, again, as a committee to do more micro level sharing of information at sort of the building level over the next few weeks. So before hopefully the end of the school year, if not the end of this month, families will get more targeted information directly about the buildings that their children are attending. We felt that was an effective way of sharing that. We advocated for building level meetings. We did this during COVID when we had the reopening of schools, and that was effective for parents to find out information about how that was going to look. So this is kind of another inflection point in our district's history here. So it's another opportunity for us to get people into our buildings or potentially do webinars so we can have it online digitally. So people, again, can learn what their schools are going to look like next year. We wanted to provide a timeline of some expected dates because one of the things that we've noticed that the community feels a little lost in terms of the communication and when they can expect to hear things from all of us. And so having that timeline, we hope will assuage some, anxieties among our population here about when they can hope to hear about certain elements of this plan that's coming out. And I think the last thing I wanted to stress is that, for the last several months, we've focused so heavily on the deficit lens of what was happening in this district. We focused a lot on what we were losing. And I don't want to underplay how incredibly important that is, right? We are losing so much. We're losing phenomenal staff. We're losing programs. It's not great, right? It's really not ideal. We were making such tremendous gains in things like the staff to student ratio. where, you know, we all know that smaller class sizes, more connections with adults really does have a transformative impact on kids' educations. But we wanted to come tonight and over the next few months, focusing on an asset lens, trying to talk about what we do still have and what we do still offer, stressing that, yes, there's going to be change, but there's a lot that's going to stay the same. And hopefully over the next few years, as we dig ourselves out of this current situation, you know, we can reclaim some of those things that we've lost and get back to those student to staff ratios, to get back to those athletic programs, to bring back Spanish at the, you know, elementary level, to do these things in a strategic way. And that's also a little part of this plan going forward as well. So big shout out to our team. Yay, if you're watching. Thank you for being amazing. And thank you to all of our central office staff for presenting tonight. And yeah, I just talked a lot. I'm sorry. Any questions? Any questions?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
See, she wasn't prepared, but she's wonderful.
She was prepared.
So, thank you. I hope you are better informed, and that's all we have.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have, yes, does the board have any questions
Yeah.
for the Reimagining team?
First, I just want to thank everyone. It's very clear that you guys have put in a lot of thought for this information, for the planning process. And I think it is really so very helpful. One just basic question, just wondering if all of these wonderful presentations will at some point be available in Spanish?
Yes, and thank you.
Okay.
And also, I thought you were going to say, are they going to be available
Online.
online?
Yes. Oh, thank
Which,
you.
yeah, this is Laura Martin and Mr. Blender.
Terrific.
Are working together to have
Excellent.
a website just dedicated to reimagining.
Excellent.
We're working on that.
Thank you. That's going to be extremely helpful. And I just had one other question. This one for Mr. Dana with regard to security. Obviously, we understand we can't get into details about security just in terms of, you know, any safety risk. But I think there's been some concern and perhaps, I would say some concern among the public. And if you could just confirm for us that there will be safety and security coverage at each one of our school buildings. I know that there's also oftentimes, you know, a lack of understanding of, you know, what our security staff look like, that, you know, some are considered school resource officers, some are SLEOs or school law enforcement officers. Just wondering if you could provide that confirmation for folks.
Yeah, sure. So, for clarification, all the officers are school resource officers. We do have some that are still current Hackensack Police Department officers, and then we have others that are, you know, officers that previously worked as in other jurisdictions, or maybe even Hackensack. Now they're retired and they're special law enforcement officer threes. They're still all categorized as SROs. There will be PD coverage throughout all the schools.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
First, I want to say thank you so much for all the presentation. It really gives us a clearer, starting to come into focus of how this is all going to play out. One thing for me personally, what I've experienced going from one school building to another, I experienced something similar in another district where I was sent to another school because of staffing differences. There's no new teacher orientation when you're an existing employee in terms of where's the paper, where's the bathroom, how do you, you know, what are the climate and culture things that you need to know about the building where you're going. If you're teaching a subject level or grade level or a subject different than what you know well. I know that these plans are in the works, but in terms of some sort of one pager for the staff members that are moving and the support around that, where it's not time consuming to reduce the amount of time and effort that the staff member has to be ready on day one for students, to give them some sort of infrastructure, one pager to kind of help them in that process as well. I think that'd be very helpful. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
I did have another question. I know we had covered this at the last meeting during Mr. Montesano's previous presentation, but given the loss of some of our athletics programs, you know, at the middle school, for example, just wondering if you can confirm the relationship. Obviously, this is one of the benefits of having a good relationship, working relationship with the city and the rec department, and if those connections are being made, so we can ensure that all of our students have access to athletics programs.
Yes, that connection will be made. What I really would prefer to do is wait until we have the new athletic director. Maybe we can get some of the conversations started, but I think it would be good. We can get some conversations started. Thank you.
Any other questions? You have enough?
One other one. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to, you know, go to the things that folks had a lot of questions on. I really appreciate the great detail that Darius, that you and your team went into with regard to special services. I know there were a lot of questions around that. And just kind of just wanted to highlight, you know, the benefit that both you, Andrea, you know, and Darius, you know, will have those seats on those boards with the jointure. That gives us greater access to the folks that are making the decisions. And just wondering if you can highlight for parents of our special education students. I know we've referenced in a lot of meetings, you know, CPAC and what that is and how, you know, parents can get involved.
Is Mr. Pemberton still here? I'll
Yes.
let him talk about CPAC, and I think also the president is here, but he can talk about CPAC. I also wanted to, in terms of the South Bergen jointure, we do want at some point Superintendent Kuchar to come. He's willing to come and just give a more in-depth overview, and I think that would be helpful for all of us.
I didn't want to walk in front of the camera. So the special ed parent group has been reestablished. They've actually had a lot more meetings and communication. Maybe one good thing that came out of this shortfall was that they've gotten together. So the most recent meeting was the 29th, and they had one in person at Fairmount School where they had a presentation. And I think they had 2 or 3 meetings between April and May. They're deciding on leadership, but I think we have a president, but I'll let them announce the new structure. And I know I'm excited. One of the things they want to do is do presentations at back to school night to welcome families in. And I know Parent Square can be kind of difficult sometimes, but we've been sending out things and workshops via Parent Square. So some of the leadership of CPAC actually went to the jointure, had a community fair night. So some of them went to that presentation to kind of hear firsthand what the jointure is doing.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the board?
Layla took my thunder.
Okay, thank you. So now we are going to move on to our agenda. We're still on page 2. I'm trying, guys. All right, so we're going to the approval of the minutes. Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education approves the special meeting minutes of May 6, 2026, regular meeting minutes of May 13th, 2026, and the special meeting minutes of May 18th, 2026. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
A motion?
Motion by trustee Pringle, second. Second by trustee Stein. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I oppose to special meeting minutes,
To all or to
to the 2 special.
to?
I abstain, I'm sorry, because I wasn't present.
Okay, so trustee Carroll abstains on the 2 special meeting minutes, May 6th and May 18th. Yes.
I'm abstaining from May 18th.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, you have another one?
Yes.
Okay, okay, sorry. So Ms. Agostra, so she's a yes, yeah.
Yes.
So it's just trustee Carol. Okay, so we did that. Okay, good. All right, moving on to our superintendent's report.
Good evening again. The enrollment report as of June 11th, we have about 5,046 students enrolled. And it's at 96.7%. Residency report, we had 3 cases reviewed, 2 were verified, 1 in-home visit unverified, 2 parent provided updates. In district proof of residency, we had 0 students withdrawn for this period. On to harassment, intimidation, and bullying report. We had a total of 11 investigations. 2 were founded, 9 were unfounded, and 2 are still pending. And 3, there were preliminary determinations of not HIV. I also want to just acknowledge our top 20 students, our seal of biliteracy recipients, and a special thank you to our student representative, Zoe Gonzalez, and another shout out to our Reimagining team, which at some point, I hope for them to come and attend a meeting so we can see who this dynamic group of people are. Plenty of moving up celebrations are happening this week, and our preschool celebrations are happening. I had the privilege of attending the ECDC preschool celebration. It was just wonderful. If you want to brighten up your day, just go visit the preschool. It was a wonderful event. I want to thank Mrs. Adams, Mrs. Heather White Coleman, and Mr. Dana for your presentation tonight. I also want to acknowledge all of our retirees, as well as our staff who will not be with us for the upcoming school year due to our budget deficit. And I just want to thank all of you for your service, and I wish you all the best. I know that some districts have hired some of our staff who will not be with us, and they would be very pleased to have talented teachers to join them. I do unfortunately want to read a statement about something that happened last month that I'm not happy about, and many of us are not happy about. So what I want to do is read a statement that went out to our Hackensack community, and it went out on May 27th, 2026. And so I'm going to read the letter just as it went out. I am writing to you, and the letter came from me. I am writing to you today regarding an incident. The letter came from me and our team. But I am writing to you today regarding an incident at Hackensack Middle School that is both serious and deeply disappointing. This past Friday, racially offensive language, including SWAT stickers, the derogatory use of the N-word, and other hate speech was discovered written in a third-floor boys' bathroom at school. Let me be clear. This act of hatred is unacceptable and stands in direct opposition to the values of the Hackensack Public Schools community. We do not support, tolerate, or condone hatred or discrimination of any kind. We are deeply saddened that this occurred within one of our schools. The administration at Hackensack Middle School has addressed this matter directly with students emphasizing the seriousness of the incident as they shared this behavior does not reflect who we are as a school community. At Hackensack Middle School, we are guided by our vision of pride, passion, and purpose. Pride in who we are and how we treat one another, passion for fostering a safe, inclusive, and respectful environment, and purpose in doing what is right, even when no one is watching. What occurred goes against all three of these principles. Words matter. They carry weight and have the power to harm individuals and fracture communities. There's no place in our schools for language or actions that demean, target, or hurt others. As a district, we remain firmly committed to ensuring that every student feels safe, respected, valued, and included. In response to this incident, an emergency staff meeting was convened to address the situation and plan next steps. In the coming weeks, staff will engage students in age-appropriate discussions and activities to reinforce expectations, promote inclusivity, and ensure that all students understand the impact of their actions. We ask for your partnership in reinforcing these values at home and within our community. Together, we must stand united in rejecting hate and in upholding the principles of dignity, respect, and belonging for all. Sincerely, the entire administrative team of Hackensack Public Schools. And I'm going to end on a good note, and it ties into what I just read. In light of what I shared, I am pleased that we are confronting hatred and division. And one example of this was most recently last Friday with our Gay Straight Alliance Club, who participated in the Pride flag raising ceremony on Friday. So our middle school students are setting the example. They've reaffirmed their commitment to making sure everyone, despite our differences, feel a sense of belonging. So thank you to our Gay Straight Alliance. And I want to wish everyone an enjoyable summer break and wish all of you well, relaxation, and peace.
Thank you. Thank you for ending it with that too. All right. So now we're moving on to our public comment portion. Public participation shall be governed by the following rules. 1, if in person, a participant must sign the sign-in sheet and be recognized by the presiding officer and must preface comments by an announcement of his or her name, municipality of residence, and group affiliation if applicable. 2, each statement made by a participant shall be limited to a 3-minute duration during the public session. 3, all statements, questions, or inquiries shall be directed to the presiding officer, and any questions or inquiries directed by a participant to another board member shall be redirected to the presiding officer, who shall determine if such statement, question, or inquiry shall be addressed by the presiding officer on behalf of the board or by the individual board member. And 4, all board and/or acting superintendent responses to questions or inquiries shall be held until the end of public participation. At this time, public comments will be open for anyone in person that would like to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's a long night. Okay. Donna West, an employee and resident of Hackensack. I wanted to congratulate Trustee Bringle and wish her well. I had her daughter, so it's kind of bittersweet, but I had her twice. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, okay. So I really know her. And Trustee Stein, just wishing you all the best. Enjoy that time with those grandchildren. 2 quick things. I'm going to try to get it within there. I'm not sure what meeting it was. You guys have had so many meetings. But Trustee Jones spoke. And then I was stopped that week, twice that week, as a matter of fact. And the comment that somebody made to me was that he was out of line. It made the board look bad or something, right? So I said to the person, well, are they not allowed to have their own thoughts? Are they puppets? And I guess I stand here to say, I didn't vote for you to be puppets. I've noticed it also with like trustee Melanie Austin. I don't know how to say her last name, I'm sorry. But I notice sometimes that it seems like people have to be on script. And I really hope that that's not the case, because then you're no better than the boards that you keep pointing fingers at. So I just wanted to let you know that that bothered me that the person said that to me, because it was a community person. And I said to the person, I don't understand. Are these people supposed to not have their own thoughts and their own minds? Secondly, and I'm excited about the reimagining, but I want us to think about, because a friend of mine said this to me and it really stuck with me, because we're going back to this old model with the bilingual classes of combining them. And we did so well by moving away from that. And I understand the staff we're losing staff. But she said something to me that stuck with me. And she said, do we do this with gen ed classes? Do we ever put 3, 4, 1, 2 together? And is it because it's a population that, you know, the parents often don't speak up? Or why are we doing this to these students? And now you're talking about a testing grade where that teacher by himself or herself is going to have to do 2 test grades, especially in 3, 4. But the part that I want to leave you with is, do we do this in gen ed? And we don't. So why one of our vulnerable populations, besides our special ed population, our bilingual population, and it's a number that's growing in this district, why would that be the group where we decide now that we need to combine classes? When I looked on this agenda and I see some people that are not going to be in classrooms with students, and if they have the certs, we need to just reimagine maybe again, because we are doubling up classes here for a population that doesn't need to be treated that way. And we need to stop doing that. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Ms. Roman. I have parents and I have kids in the system, and you guys have seen me advocate on several occasions. To correct Mr. Pemberton, we've had the CPAC meeting because I brought it up in social media and made noise about it. We've had a meeting since I brought it up. I did not attend one of the meetings as I was coming back from vacation and I had to attend to my job. There was a few things brought up in the CPAC meeting that parents requested. And one of them is having CPAC be brought to the forefront on back to school night, because those are one of the things that I did not see as a parent when I was going to back to school night. And some parents are not aware of who is CPAC, what is CPAC, what do they mean, what are they here for? So in conclusion with that, I've been in connection with Mr. Pemberton and Michelle to figure out how we can get parents a little bit more engaged in it. Instead of sending it through Parent Square, how about paper form? Unfortunately, we have a lot of parents that are not computer savvy. They're not savvies on Parent Square. And some parents are bilingual or just Spanish speaking that don't understand English to go on to Parent Square to see what's going on and who is CPAC. I am the person that went to South Bergen Junction. I am the person that got all the flyers that are there. No one else attended, and I did post it on social media for parents to go and see for themselves who is South Bergen Junction as well. I brought it up to Mr. Pemberton's attention and also to everyone else on the CPAC team. Over the summer, I will get together with one of the colleagues in CPAC, and I will hand over my flyers that I received, because unfortunately, we don't see that here in Bergen County. And we have a lot of services that no one knows anything about and don't know where to go, what direction to go, how to do what with what kid, how to do what with the other kid, how to do a DDD. One thing that parent may not know, that your IEP does go to college with you. It might be a different name, but it goes to college with you. And your DDD can also be part of your financial aid, where you get some funds going towards your school. So these are a lot of information that's being left out. I don't know if it's because it's Bergen County and no one wants to talk about it, but the services are there. It's just, it needs to be given and provided. Now, I have a main question that's hard to me because of my son. How many related services have been secured through South Bergen for 2026, 2027? How much time is the para going to be in the classroom with the student? How many kids are going to be in each classroom? I have a kid with a 504 that has medical needs. I have another kid with an IEP that's going to need in-class support. These are my main concerns with my kids. I can't speak for everyone else. I only speak for mine. So when will we have those numbers, those ideas on what's going to happen? Thank you.
Anyone else in person that would like to speak?
Reverend Davis, I just want to say congratulations both to Trustee Pringle and to Trustee Stein for the work that you have done. We will miss you. This has been a tough year, but you have stuck it out. We're just proud of you. And Mark, I'll see you on the 27th because it'll be our 60th high school reunion.
Anyone else in person that would like to speak? Okay, we're going to move to online.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Alberta, and I am a speech language pathologist in Hackensack Middle School for the next 4 days. As we continue to navigate the consequences of a $24 million budget deficit that has been repeatedly attributed to fiscal mismanagement, I have a few questions regarding items on tonight's agenda. First, I am seeking clarification regarding the appointment of the district's Americans with Disabilities Act officer. My understanding is that there is currently active litigation alleging that the recommended individual denied ADA accommodations to a staff member. Given the critical role of the ADA officer in ensuring compliance with federal disability laws and protecting the rights of employees and community members, what due diligence was conducted before making this appointment? It is my hope that the board can assure staff and the public that the individual responsible for overseeing ADA compliance will be viewed as impartial and credible in light of these allegations. Second, throughout the reduction in force process, the administration repeatedly assured the public that South Bergen Jointure would be able to provide sufficient related services personnel to meet the needs of Hackensack students. However, agenda items C18 and C33 seek approval for 2 additional outside agencies at a combined cost of $800,000. If South Bergen Jointure was capable of meeting the district's service needs, why are additional agencies now necessary? Mr. Pemberson said tonight that they'll be able to fully staff us. I want to be clear, my concern is not about the educational opportunities SBJC can provide. My own family members attended SBJC schools and are succeeding in life. My concern is about the decision to use them to replace an entire department. Mr. Pemberton also stated that they are already providing services in our sending districts. However, I would like to point out that both South Hackensack and Rochelle Park employ their own district speech therapists. This said, does the approval of additional agencies indicate that the department's original projections regarding staffing and service delivery were inaccurate? There is a history of poor budgetary projections in the Department of Special Ed, as evidenced by a corrective action plan in 2023 for a 78% shortfall of the director's semi-projection for the 21-22 school year. Most importantly, how does spending an additional $800,000 on outside contractors demonstrate sound fiscal stewardship at a time when 11 tenured district-related service providers lost their positions due to budget concerns? I also would like to say that it feels a little deceiving to make a big deal over the district having a representative on the SBJC board when every member district has a representative that sits on their board. Our students, families, staff, and taxpayers deserve transparency, accountability, and answers to some of these unanswered questions. I would like to thank the board for their ongoing dedication to educating themselves and seeking answers regarding the operations of the special education department. Thank you and have a good night.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, good evening.
Hi, this is Hallie Silverstone, parent at Fairmount School. I just had a quick question. We heard about the plans for security and safety tonight, and I just wanted to confirm, and maybe this is a silly question, but when we hear that there will be coverage at each school, whether it's an SLO or an SRO or whatever the acronyms are for that. Does coverage mean full day from drop off to pickup? Or does that mean like partial coverage? I just was curious. I know we don't know like a lot of the details of that, but I just wanted to know whether or not that meant full coverage or partial coverage. That's it. Thanks so much.
Okay, so at this time, the public comment section is closed. Ms. Oates Parchment, did you want to just clarify about that last question for what does coverage mean in terms of the schools? I mean, I know it was kind of sounded like a car insurance, full coverage or partial,
No,
but it's not like that.
we will reach out to Ms. Silverstein because once again, there are certain things that we cannot mention about security, and I don't want to jeopardize it. So Ms. Silverstein, I will have Mr. Dana and myself, we will reach out to you to clarify that. But
Yes, and it is also for the safety
it's for the safety.
of our students at
We
the
don't
moment
wanna
that we
give
can't
detail.
disclose the details of.
That's why we were very vague.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I believe the other questions are more personal questions that could be addressed with the correct directors.
What
Yep, turn
What
on.
Ms. West brought
Mhm.
up is, it is an equity issue, and we will take into account the questions that she asked, and get back to her. Mrs. Roman, in terms of the parent orientation night, just to bring more exposure to CPAC, I think that's a wonderful idea. And a lot of times we don't get a lot of information, and the more information our parents have, the better our students are. So we will take into account the things that you brought up. And this gives me a chance to say right now, Reverend Davis, you said congratulations to Trustee Mark and Trustee Shavani. I didn't say congratulations and I wish you well on your new journey, but thank you for your service, both of you. Lauren Alberto, you brought up several questions. We're going to have those questions and they will be addressed. I think that's it.
Thank you. I just want to add for the CPAG meeting, again, I'm excited that the ball is rolling for the CPAG committee. Just one little recommendation, when you do present for the back to school nights, a pamphlet in Spanish and in English, just one same pamphlet would be amazing. It was very successful many, many years ago when my son was in pre-K. And, you know, as you know, we have a very large, Hispanic population, so they would definitely benefit from that. But very excited for the committee. All righty, so now we're going into our resolutions, page 3, folks. We're moving on. Okay. All right, so for our resolutions, this part is our consent agenda, and I will have Trustee Amber Hamza introduce it.
Thank you, Madam President. This one actually covers several pages in the agenda, so it'll get us moving. So I would like to offer for consideration resolutions under item number 11, the consent agenda, and those cover items number 1 through 26 of the consent agenda.
Okay, thank you. So I have a motion from Trustee Amber Hamza. Can I have a second?
Second by trustee Gilmore. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Agashi, can you please do a roll call?
Miss Alston Balaputra,
Yes to all, but I have to abstain from 22.
Miss Emma Hamza,
Yes to all.
Mr. Carroll,
I abstain
on everything,
to all.
Miss Gilmore,
Yes to all.
Mr. Jones is absent, Miss Pringle,
Yes to all.
Mr. Stein, Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Harris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to our committee reports and resolutions, and we will start with personnel, and the chair of personnel is trustee Amar Hamza.
Thank you very much, President Harris. This is quite a large list of resolutions for the Personnel Committee. I do want to begin before offering personnel items for consideration with a motion to table Resolution O numbers 1 through 6 on the personnel agenda.
Sure. So there's a motion from trustee Amar Hamza. Is there a second? Second by trustee Stein. Ms. Agashi, can you please do a roll call for tabling O numbers 1 through 6?
Yes. Miss Alston Balaputra,
Yes.
Miss Ahmed Hamza,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Miss Gilmore,
Yeah.
Mr. Jones is absent, Miss Pringle,
Yes.
Mr. Stein,
Yeah.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Harris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, thank you. So item O 1 through 6 is tabled. Okay, so now moving
Yes.
on to the rest.
So the Personnel Committee met last week, and we have items, personnel items A through HH. There is also one walk-on resolution for the appointment of in-house general counsel. I would, if I could, just like to highlight two or three different items. One of the personnel resolutions that I would actually like to read in full is personnel item L, which is a resolution for our beloved athletic director, Gordon Scooter Whiting Jr. And if I could, I would like to read out that resolution to commemorate his service. Whereas Gordon Scooter Whiting Jr. was born on December 18th, 1967, and passed away on May 15th, 2026, leaving behind a lasting legacy of service, leadership, mentorship, and dedication to the students and families of the Hackensack community. And whereas Mr. Whiting was a proud graduate of Hackensack High School, class of 1986, where he distinguished himself as an all-state and all-league football athlete and developed a lifelong commitment to athletics, teamwork, and community service. And whereas after graduating from Wagner College, Mr. Whiting returned to his hometown and devoted his professional career to Hackensack Public Schools, serving with distinction as a teacher, dean of students, assistant principal, athletic director, coach, and mentor to countless students and colleagues. And whereas Mr. Whiting was widely recognized for his leadership of the Hackensack High School football program, where he guided generations of student athletes and emphasized character, discipline, sportsmanship, and personal growth both on and off the field. And whereas Mr. Whiting was a strong advocate for students and a dedicated supporter of Hackensack Public Schools, always placing the needs of students and the school community at the forefront of his work, and often reminded others of a phrase he truly lived by: once a comet, always a comet. And whereas Mr. Whiting's impact extended far beyond athletics, as he fostered meaningful relationships with students, staff, families, and community members, earning the respect and admiration of all who had the privilege of knowing him. And whereas the work, guidance, and example he provided throughout his life will continue to influence future generations and remain an enduring part of the culture and tradition of Hackensack Public Schools. And whereas Mr. Whiting leaves to cherish his memory, his beloved wife, Dr. Joy Dorsey Whiting, his children, Curtis and Camille Whiting, his parents, Gordon and Martha Whiting Sr., his grandmother, Gertrude Ogletree, and a host of relatives, friends, former students, athletes, colleagues, and community members. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education hereby expresses its deepest sympathy and condolences to the Whiting family and joins the Hackensack community in mourning the loss of Gordon Scooter Whiting Jr. And be it further resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education recognizes and honors Mr. Whiting's many years of dedicated service to the students, staff, and families of Hackensack Public Schools and acknowledges the lasting impact he has made on the district and community. And be it further resolved that while Gordon Scooter Whiting Jr. may no longer walk among us, his example, his dedication to Hackensack, and his enduring belief that once a comet, always a comet, will continue to inspire generations of comets for years to come. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to the Whiting family as a lasting expression of the gratitude, respect, and appreciation of the Hackensack Board of Education. I would also just like to highlight two other resolutions for the public. The first resolution is Personnel Item V regarding the appointment of Dr. Dennis Fronapple as the Interim School Business Administrator and Board Secretary. Just a couple of comments about this. Considering the enormous budgetary challenges that continue to impact our district, the board remains firm in its commitment to ensuring strong financial oversight of our budget. This means we must have strong, qualified personnel in the business office. To ensure that our Assistant Business Administrator, Ms. Agastra, has the support she needs, and considering the vacancies in the business office, starting July 1, the board has made the decision to appoint Dr. Dennis to the position of Interim Business Administrator. Dr. Dennis has more than 50 years of experience in school finance, including working with districts that are facing similar financial challenges. He also served as interim BA for the Hackensack School District back in 2019. For these reasons, we are pleased that he is being recommended for this position. And lastly, I would like to just offer some comments, some clarification regarding the walk-on resolution for the appointment of in-house general counsel. And I wanted to thank the business office for the detailed resolution that's been provided. This is a best practice created position. As we previously highlighted upon the creation of this position last month, and as stated by the board president, the board and administration will continue to look for ways to identify cost savings opportunities whenever possible. Because of the rising costs of our legal services, which have averaged between $400,000 and $500,000 over the last few years, the creation of this in-house general counsel position provides the district with a savings of $200,000 when you look at the last few years. Furthermore, it should be noted that the salary for this position has been adjusted to reflect the fact that this position will be the only general counsel for our district, unlike other districts that have a team of in-house attorneys. Additionally, no legal secretary or paralegal support will be provided. Lastly, it is important to note the distinction between this position and the position of legal specialist that was previously proposed by the prior board. The current position of in-house general counsel takes the place of our current vendor, our current law firm, while the former proposal for legal specialist was in addition to the district's designated law firm or legal counsel. So we did want to make those clarifications. Lastly, I do want to take the opportunity on behalf of the district to thank our current law firm, Dakotas, for the excellent legal services it has provided to our district and the help that it provided with regard to starting to get us on a path of reducing some of our legal expenses. So with all of those things, I would like to offer for consideration these personnel items A through HH, with the exception of Resolution O, as well as the walk-on resolution for the appointment of in-house general counsel.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion from trustee Abrahamsa. Is there a second? A second. Second by trustee Pringle. Ms. Agastra, can you please do a roll call?
Ms. Alston Balputra,
Yes to all.
Ms. Emma Hamza. Yes to all. Mr. Carroll.
Yes, but I have to abstain from 17. The affirmative action equity co-officer, our assistant, our superintendent, acting superintendent Andrea O's Parchment. And also in 17, section 504 compliance officer, director of special services, Mr. Pemberton. And Title IX coordinator, assistant superintendent, Mrs. Marks. Also 02, 06, G2, C5, M and Z.
As in Mary.
Yes.
And B.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Gilmore? Yes, yeah. Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Pringle?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Yes.
Vice President Martin?
Yes.
President Harris?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to policy. Guys, we're on page 36. Sometimes it feels like it doesn't end. Okay, so moving on to policy, and the chair of policy is trustee Pringle.
I'd like to, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. For policy, I'd like to motion first read for, P 1230, P 2200, and the revision for, I do have to read this. This is my last time in my phone. I have some questions.
Just say all of them.
Say all of them. I don't have to, okay, all right. Moving on. Policy 2260, policy 2411, policy 5460, policy 5461. Got some notes in the back. All right, policy guide 6112, 6115.02, and 6311 all have minor revisions that were required by the monitors. However, Regulations Guide 6115.01 was completely rewritten to meet the monitoring requirements. Based on the OFAC audit, Policy Guide 6112, 6115.2, 6311, and Regulations Guide 6115.01 are mandated by districts that receive federal funds and should be adopted by the board. These revisions are mandated. Can I get a motion for a first read for policy?
A motion. So we have a motion from trustee Pringle. Can I have a second?
Second.
So second by trustee Carroll. Ms. Agasha, can you please do a roll call?
Ms. Alston Balputra?
Yes.
Ms. Amr Hamza?
Yes.
Mr. Carroll?
Yes.
Ms. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Pringle?
Yes.
Mr. Stein?
Aye.
Vice President Martin?
Yes.
President Harris?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to curriculum, and the chair of curriculum is trustee Pringle.
Okay, I like to motion C1 to C40. However, I would like to highlight C7, C8, and C9. I'm gonna read this. A proposal with the sole source procurement for the pre-K kindergarten creative curriculum for the 2026-27 school year at all district preschool classes and district preschool classes at Bright Adventures Lightbridge Academy, the Bridget Seedling Early Learning Center, Yeah, that I don't wanna read the rest of that. But then C8, Hackensack Board of Education values and recognizes students' achievement, academic growth, and personal excellence across all district programs. And whereas the 180 award sponsored by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt recognize students who demonstrate exceptional growth and achievement in the Read 180 and Math 180 programs based on academic performance, engagement, program usage, and personal development. And whereas grade 7 student Claire Abera has been selected as a recipient of the 180 award for her outstanding growth and achievement in the Read 180 program. And whereas Hackensack Middle School teacher Mary McGuire nominated Claire Abera in recognition of her dedication, progress, and commitment to learning. And whereas an executive representative from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt visited Hackensack Middle School on May 18, 2026 to present Claire Avera with a certificate of recognition and to acknowledge Mary McGuire for her nomination of her student. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education hereby recognizes and congratulates Claire Abera for being selected as 180 award recipient and commends her for her academic growth, perseverance, and achievement. Be it further resolved that this resolution is presented as a sincere expression of our appreciation and congratulations from the Hackensack Board of Education and extends best wishes for continued success in her academic journey. Last but not least, C9, the Hackensack Board of Education, upon recommendation of the acting superintendent of schools, approves the agreement with Dr. Zimmerman in partnership with the Wild Ones New Jersey Gateway Chapter for third grade student assembly and fourth grade tree planting ceremony at Jackson Avenue School on June 18. There is no cost to the district. Again, can I get a motion for C1 to C4?
So we have a motion from trustee Pringle. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Amra Hamza. Ms. Lagasha, can you please do a roll call?
Ms. Olson Balaputra,
Yes, but I need to abstain from C10, C17, C18, C33, and C34.
Ms. Emma Hamza,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Ms. Gilmore,
Yeah.
Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Pringle,
Yes.
Mr. Stein,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Harris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to finance, and the chair for finance is trustee Stein.
Very simply, I'd like to offer resolutions D1 through D44.
Right.
Page 50. Okay. All right, so we have a motion from trustee Stein. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by trustee Amra Hamza. Ms. Lagasha, can you please do a roll call?
Ms. Olson Balaputra,
I have a question. The transfers list hasn't changed since we got it in finance committee, correct?
I believe it was off by a few dollars when it was updated today. It was a short difference for a transfer.
Okay,
It's minimal.
so yes to all, abstain from D3.
Okay. Ms. Emma Hamza,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Ms. Gilmore,
Yes.
Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Pringle,
Yes.
Mr. Stein,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Harris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to facilities, and the chair of facilities is Vice President Martin.
Yes, I like the motion E1 through E3 and highlight E2 and E3. The Hackensack Board of Education, upon recommendation of the acting superintendent of school and acting school business administrator, board secretary, approved the renewal lease agreement with St. Francis Church for continuing use of the building commonly known as the ECDC for the 226 to 27 school year. The material term of such renewal lease agreement are: A, monthly rent of $28,152.50. That's 50% decrease from the school year of 2025-26. B, the board and landlord shall equally be responsible for all monthly utilities. Formerly, the board was responsible for 90% of monthly utilities. C, the board is responsible for the first $5,000 of any needed repairs. Formerly, the board was responsible for the entire cost of all repairs. And the board has no obligation to lease and or occupy the building after June 30th to 2027. Now, be it resolved, the board president is hereby authorized to execute the renewal lease agreement with St. Francis Church for continued use of the building commonly known as the ECDC for 2026-2027 school year. And highlight also E3, being resolved at the Hackensack Board of Education upon recommendation of the acting superintendent of schools and acting school business administrator. Board secretary approved the statement of assured SOA for testing the reporting of lead in school drinking water and submission to the New Jersey Department of Education for the 2025-2026 school year. Again, I like to motion E1 through E3.
Second.
Okay, so we have a motion from trustee Martin and a second from trustee Carroll. Any discussion? Once again, I just want to highlight again E2 and the importance, and I also wanted to give a huge shout out to our board attorney and also to our acting superintendent for taking the lead on this and pushing for this renegotiation and allowing us to see this huge savings and where we can finally see ourselves out of ECDC and back into our home schools. So shout out to you too. All right, and any discussion? No. Okay. Ms. Agasha, roll call, please.
Ms. Alston Bell Butcher,
Yes.
Ms. Amar Hamza,
Yes.
Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Ms. Gilmore,
Yes.
Mr. Jones is absent. Ms. Pringle,
Yes.
Mr. Stein,
Yes.
Vice President Martin,
Yes.
President Harris,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. All right, moving on to community relations, and the chair of community relations is trustee Gilmore, and she will also be presenting the survey results of the community relations committee. So trustee Gilmore, along with assistant superintendent Rosemary Max.
All right, good evening, everyone. We are super excited to present the results of the community survey that went out on May 22nd, and it closed on June 6th. It was in many languages, so there were opportunities for everyone to participate. We even included houses of worship with paper copies. I don't believe those results are included here because those have to be tallied separately. But we also partnered with the city to have the survey included in the newsletter. So we did, spread a wide net to try to gain as much feedback as possible. And the reason why we did the survey is that we wanted to give the community an opportunity to be heard. After the budget passed, we felt that it was urgent and important for us to understand how the community was feeling and just to listen to what their concerns were. But I also want to just give a huge shout out to there was a subcommittee formed within the Community Relations Committee to work on the survey. And these women raised their hands and put in the work. They were definitely the spearheads of this survey, specifically Ms. Shortridge. I just want to thank her for leading this survey work, along with Jessica Cruz, Vicki Cohen, Courtney Mathias. And I also want to thank our acting superintendent, Andrea Oates Parchment, for recommending that we utilize a service that we already pay for, Thought Exchange, which is who did the survey and the outputs, as well as Assistant Superintendent Rosemary Marks for helping integrate with Thought Exchange. So I want to say that we received 1,357 participants taking the survey, which was amazing considering that the survey went out over the holiday weekend, and people really took the survey, and we're so appreciative. And it basically means that the community wants to be heard, essentially. And they have things to say, and they wanted to let us know. And that was the purpose of the survey. Next slide. So we heard from a cross section of the community, which included high school students, parents, staff, residents, alumni, business owners, everyone that we could think of. We wanted their voices heard. And half of the respondents were students, which was very encouraging because they wanted to have a say in how the district moved forward. And so we didn't get a one-sided view of what was going on. I think we got a holistic view of how the community as a whole was feeling after coming out of the budget, after getting the budget passed. Next slide. So we wanted to know just how people felt or did they feel connected to the district. So we got a 43% favorability score, which some people might be like, oh, that's not good, but I look at it as an opportunity where we can improve, right? So we want to improve that number to have people more engaged. So we have a low number of people feeling very engaged. So we have an opportunity to increase that. And that's what the survey is going to identify, how people want to receive communication and how they want to be communicated to. Okay, next slide, Rosemary.
So one of the questions was really to get stakeholder input on the priorities. And as Trustee Gilmore just pointed out, over 50% of the respondents were students, but our respondents were really from representative of all our stakeholders across the district. And the number one priority, as you can see with these results, is academic achievement and student success, followed by field trips and enrichment opportunities and school safety and security. Next slide. So we're going to move forward, and I'm tag teaming with Trustee Gilmore to go over the broad key themes of the response. Oh, okay.
All right. So one of the key messages, as you can imagine, after coming out of a $24 million deficit would be trust and transparency. People want to hear the information before it becomes a rumor. So we are working with our IT director, Alex Blinder, to try to get out a newsletter or to build something where people can go and get the facts, not what's on social media, which is half of the truth most of the time. But that fuels a lot of rumors and a lot of frustration. So we want to, try to get rid of that because we want to communicate with the community and we want to rebuild the trust of the community. Right. And also, many of the respondents wanted to be communicated in a more, layman terms. So, that will be included in our communication strategy or how we want to communicate. If it's going to be a newsletter, is it going to be weekly? Is it going to be bi-weekly? We have to figure that out. But this was just a start, just to understand what people were thinking and how they were feeling. So this is just a first step to gather information.
Moving on to finances and operations, the number one priority was reducing non-essential spending, with energy and efficiency facility improvements coming in second, and at a tie for third place, reviewing vendor contracts and administrative restructuring. And what does that really mean in terms of what our stakeholders are looking for in terms of other funding opportunities? They're looking for us to outreach and look for partnerships with local businesses, colleges, especially hospital partnerships with Hackensack Meridian right here in our backyard. 54% are looking for us to seek sponsorships for our athletic programs. 53% for increased grants and 43% to do more with our own school facility rentals. Next slide. In terms of academics and student achievement, the student experience, academics and student achievement is one of the topics for future community sessions. Athletics and extracurricular, as well as district finances and operations, ties for number 2 with communication and transparency. And again, one of the themes we keep seeing is, communication, and let us know, as Trustee Gilmore was saying, give us the information in advance. And so we know we need to work together, working with the board. The district leadership team is looking to follow up on these priorities as well. And you have the other priorities listed there. And again, in this slide, though, I'd like to also highlight the strength, stuff that they're looking for us to strengthen in the district. And that's on the right hand of the slide, with expansion of student enrichment and career readiness opportunities, expanding college, hospital, and business partnerships, and increasing community involvement opportunities as the top of the three. That still means safety, climate, and communication. And surprisingly enough, or maybe not, the preferred method of communication for 84% of our respondents is email. So social media is up there, but you see the difference? 84% to 47% is a significant difference. And so parents and stakeholders are looking for concrete information communicated via email. And then safety and student well-being concerns on the right-hand side. School safety ranked as the number 3 priority, above financial transparency, with those other sub-bullet points, bullying and repeatedly cited repeatedly in open responses, mental health and wellness cited in our open responses, as well as requests for more or better security And that was common across all the groups that responded, as well as special communication, special education communication and responsiveness.
Okay. So even though, the community it wasn't just all positive thoughts, but despite the challenges, people still believed in three things. Our strengths are our diversity, our dedicated staff, and the opportunities that we provide to students. So in general, our community still believes in the Hackensack Public School District, and they want to help and make a difference. They want skin in the game. They want to be a part of the rebuilding of this district, and we welcome that. And this is something we should celebrate, right? And next slide, please. And at the heart of the survey are four themes: financial stability, academic excellence, engaged community, and safe schools. These are fundamentals, right? They should not be that hard. And these can all be done together. They don't compete with each other. So that's achievable if we work together. And that's what I hope we will do moving forward. Okay, next slide. But now the survey did not provide all of the answers. This was just the beginning. And this is going to be the beginning of more outlook, more areas for us to focus on are transparency, communication, finance, staffing, safety, and special education. This survey just helped us guide future discussions. So we hope that people will want to participate in more surveys because we will be submitting a follow-up. And the more information we get, the better we can become. And our community wants to be involved, and that's a plus, because I would have been concerned if we only had 100 respondents, but instead we had 1,300 people that took the time to tell us how they feel. And it's something for us to truly action on. And, we just want to thank everyone that took the time to take the survey, provide us with the information, and, be on the lookout for next steps. We want to have small sessions where, there could be a dialogue versus just us talking. And, we want to hear from you, and we want you to get your answers in real time. So thank you to everyone who took the survey. We really appreciate your feedback. And please, if you have any questions, reach out, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.
That was great. Thank you so much. Love the slides and all the information. And I had the privilege of sitting at your committee. Yeah, it was Friday. On Friday, and it's so nice to see that the members are very activated and engaged, and they're trying to find different ways to engage the community, especially our businesses here in town. So thank you for all your hard work. All right, so moving on, other committees, we don't have any at the moment. New business, any new business? Okay, moving on to our second public comment, where individuals may address the board on agenda and school matters of community interest for 1 minute. Is there anyone in person that would like to speak? Okay, see that there are none. Is there anyone online that would like to speak? Okay. Second public comment section is now closed. Moving on to board comments. We're on our last page. We're getting there. All right. And I will start off with Trustee Carroll. Oh.
First of all, I would like to thank Trustee Stein and Trustee Pringle for your service to this board and this district. We're gonna miss you guys, and I wish you well. I'd also like to thank the whole entire district for your hard work and dedication. to all the teachers and staff and just everyone. You are all appreciated. Acting Superintendent Ms. Parchment and your team, your presentations were very informative and easy to follow. And I think the community will be pleased to be informed of everything. Trustee Gilmore, I want to commend you on your hard work with your survey. It was that I think that's going to help us a lot.
Yeah.
Moving forward. I really do. It's the end of the school year, and I want to say I went to it's hard to I try to go to as many things as I can at the end of the year, but I did go to the Fairmount, I think it was the World Cup multicultural event at Sty Park. I tell you, being there, I wish everyone could have saw it, and it makes all what we do worth it. I saw students, family, teachers, all playing together, having a good time. Even the students against the parents in soccer. The parents kind of took it very seriously. They were still elementary kids, but they really wanted to win. The food was great. I mean, I didn't have any because I'm kind of on a diet, but it looked really good. But yeah, I must say that was a wonderful event. Also, congratulations to all our students who are moving up. Congratulations to our high school students, top 20 graduates, all our students who received scholarships this year. And to all our graduates, I wish you all continued success and whatever path you choose, just, whether it's college, trade school, working, just remember, follow your dreams. You're all comets, and in the words of my brother, Mr. Gordon Whiting, Scoot, once a comment, always a comment, and everyone just have a great summer and be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Abrahamson.
Oh gosh, we covered a lot in this meeting tonight. It seems like enough for several meetings. I do really want to thank the community for all of its support for coming out to honor the giant of an athletic director that we lost. It's hard to believe that it's already been a month. There have been amazing tributes, not only, by our own school district, our own acting superintendent, many other staff who spoke at his services, but also wonderful recognition by the city council tonight. And so that's been really amazing to see our community come together during times of adversity and times of loss. And I think that really highlights a lot of what we've been through together as a district this year. It's been really tough. It's, this June, there's this wonderful sense of transition and happiness for all of our students who are moving up, moving out, moving on. But, it's also been extremely difficult. And, I don't want to minimize the loss that everyone has felt, staff that will no longer be with us. But I do want to just remind everyone that, we do have this wonderful history of persevering during all of these times of adversity. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of the good things that will come, not only from our students as they continue their education, but also from all of us. It's been really refreshing to hear all of the work that's been done in such a short amount of time by the Reimagining committee. It's been wonderful to see and hear from staff from across the district, from our district leaders. A huge thank you, Acting Superintendent Parchment, for all that you've done in putting this together, to all of our administrators. All of the presentations were really very thoughtful and really informative, and we look forward to continuing to get more information. Thank you, Trustee Gilmore, for again highlighting that the community, they want to be part of the solution and they want more information. So we are going to listen and make sure that we get you that information. I do also want to congratulate and thank two of our colleagues, Trustee Stein. It's amazing to believe that you've put in 30 years of public service to our city, and there's really no way, to thank you for all of that service, but you will be missed, Mark. You will be missed.
I'm not dying. Well, don't.
But you'll be missed here. But we expect to see you there. And Shivani, I hope you know how much you will be missed here, not only on the board, but in Hackensack. And so we hope that you will be coming back to visit us. Many times. You have places to come visit. And in addition to all of our students who will be graduating, congratulations to our proud comment parents on the board, Trustee Carroll, yes, Trustee Pringle, President Harris, for your graduates, and wishing them all success, along with the success of all of our students. Again, a huge congratulations and thank you to Zoe Gonzalez for her service as our student rep. Congratulations, Mr. Nunemacher, in your new role as our in-house general counsel. Again, I do want to thank all of the trustees for all of your dedication, your commitment, to our president and vice president for your leadership, and just wishing everyone a very refreshing, peaceful, relaxing summer. And also, to end on a happy note, really happy for all of this, the blue and orange celebrations for the Knicks. And, really hope that everybody enjoys the World Cup. Go Team USA coming up again, their next game, and to all of the other countries that are represented by our very diverse district. Tonight, Austria will be playing there tonight at midnight. Yes, in a few minutes. And happy Pride. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Okay, Trustee Gilmore.
I just wanted to thank the Reimagine team. I really enjoyed looking at what the future of Hackensack Public Schools is going to be like, and I'm so happy that you have taken the time to think about it in a reimagined way, despite the budget deficit. But I know we will come out better and stronger. I also want to wish Mark and Shivani the best of luck. We will definitely miss you, but we will only be a phone call away. Also, I'm looking forward to the athletic dinner tomorrow to celebrate our athletes. Congratulations to the top 20. I was able to attend the dinner. It was amazing. And I'm looking forward to walking over the bridge one more time during graduation. That is definitely a rite of passage. And just wishing everyone a wonderful summer. And I'm wishing all of the educators that will not be with us next year, I wish you all the best. But you will always have a home here in Hackensack. So I wish everyone a happy summer and good night.
Thank you. Trustee Alston Balaputra.
First, I'd like to say to Trustee Pringle, it was great. It was an amazing time getting to know you. I will come visit. And it was an honor to serve with you. To Trustee Stein, also very much an honor to serve with you. I've known you a lot longer. And you've been a member of my village for as long as I can remember. And your service to this community is unparalleled. And we thank you for that. I will also want to say something to Assistant Superintendent Rosemary Marks and Ms. Moncloa. The World Language Department has always been pretty cutting edge in this district, but I know that I can see the groundwork that the department has laid. I know Ms. Marks started some of the initiatives, and then Ms. Moncloa picked it up and with her team ran with it. I'm hopelessly monolingual. But my time in district with the teachers that I had made me somewhat literate. And when parents come to the mic to speak in Spanish, I'm about 85% getting it. I'm kind of there. Now, if I had to respond to them, it's going to be in English. But so I'm gonna name them. I'm gonna shout out Miss Garcia, Miss Ruiz, Miss Mitterball, Miss Pryfold, Miss Frankoff, and Miss Mendito. Despite their best efforts, they gave me things. I didn't get all of it. My sister, on the other hand, is completely biliterate in multiple languages, and all of that she got from here in Hackensack High School, in Hackensack Middle School, in the World Language Department, and the cutting edge things that we've been doing for a while. But now you can physically see 4 rows of kids that have achieved something, and we're moving in a direction of excellence that is really, really touching to see. So I want to thank you for the work that you've done in that area. Welcome back to Dr. Dennis. I'm looking forward to working with you. And welcome back to Jason Unemacher in a new situation. I think this is awesome. Donna West talked about children of differences and what they deserve. And that really hit me as a parent and as an educator. Unfortunately, as a district, we're grappling with the difference between what our children deserve and what we can afford to give them. And that's painful. I think every student deserves to be in a class with just 1 grade's worth of kids. And every student deserves to go to the school in their neighborhood instead of having to go across town, because it's more cost effective and economies of scale require us to put programs in specific schools so that we can give them the best services we could possibly offer. But that doesn't mean that we can't stop striving toward whatever it is that we want them to have. And the board is committed to figuring out as many cost saving strategies as we can, as evidence here tonight, to start to begin to restore as much of the things that we can afford to give our children the best of whatever it is we have to give them. I'm not okay with the idea of students not going on field trips. I'm not okay with the idea of, for the first time since, with the exception of COVID, in 60 years, that there wouldn't be 6th grade camp. So those are things that we have not given up, and we're still striving. I know Superintendent Parchman and her team, everybody's still striving toward giving our kids as much as we can afford. And I think that will continue to be said. I also want to say thank you to Superintendent Parchment. We've had some meetings recently where, as long as I've known her, still truly impressive to see the level of reflection and goal setting. Reflection and goal setting and striving and visioning that she's doing on behalf of the district. And I didn't think I could be more impressed with her, but I definitely. Is this better? No. There we go. Thank you. Test.
You pass.
Thank you. I'm just impressed with the reflection and the striving that she is pushing us as a district, and I want to thank her for that. I think that's everything I wanted to say. Oh, tonight I parked on Comet Way. When I go out to my car, it's going to be Gordon Scooter Whiting Way. Shout out to the city council for that. Really excited.
Trustee Pringle. Are you looking away like you did? I saw that.
So I've been anticipating this day, the good way, bad way. I didn't know how to feel about it, but I can't believe it's finally here. And then coming to the meeting this afternoon, I said, wow, Kenny, remember it's like, I was like, I have 4 weeks, I have 6 weeks, like I moved in 2 months and I'm moving in a week. I'm gonna miss you all so, so much. Like you have no idea. Um, I was in total shock. I thought I was gonna get up there and just, or actually sit here and just read my farewell. So the plaque, I'm gonna put it next to my mug that I won. With you guys pictures on it. Um, it's been an honor. Um, I'm gonna miss all of you. I'm gonna miss the community. Um, Jerry Craig is not here, but I know that this is recorded and people can go back to this. When I first came to Hackensack and I had no idea what I was gonna do until Layla started school, Jerry Craig saved Layla in the summer. Cause man, she was very mischievous in the house and I didn't know what I was gonna do until I saw a camp piggyback across the street. And I walked up to Jerry Craig and I was like knocking on the door. I was like, how much does camp cost? You know, like I'm on disability right now. I don't know how much it costs. And I don't get paid until next month. I just moved here. And she said, bring her tomorrow. We'll make arrangements. And that's when I knew that Hackensack was a family-oriented community. Not only did, because I don't know if anybody know Mount Olive, they make food for the kids at camp and stuff. So once I realized that Layla was going in the morning to get grits, bacon, eggs, and all this other stuff, I started going there for breakfast too. And they did not turn me down. So I just want to make sure that I acknowledge Jerry Craig. There's a few women in this town before I've gotten on the board that impacted my life a lot. One of those people, Joy, Dr. Whiteman, let me say, she was the second person I met in Hackensack when I went to register Layla for first grade. So Layla started off at Hillers before she went to Nellie K. Parker. Donna West, and I actually want to say Donna West, Reverend Burke, and Andrea Parchment have been very positive, encouraging women in my life. And you guys, you probably don't even know it, but you know, I've told you this a long time ago. On a personal level, Donna West and Reverend Burke saved me spiritually. And I will always appreciate that. Reverend Jackson for baptizing my kids and I about 8 years ago. The community in the whole, even to the people walking down Miss Shirley's house and watching Layla grow, calling Layla into the house and say, give this rose to your mother for Mother's Day. Like this community is amazing. And I'm gonna miss that. I know where I'm going. I'm not gonna get that because, well, not right away. My grandbabies still got some growing to do. And hopefully the community will be as pleasant as Hackensack. I need to acknowledge Mark and Kenny. Mark. Mark is my jazz and light music in the car. And me and Mark can jazz, and every time we would be in the car riding to work, it would be That's What Friends Are For would come on. And I would sing that song all the time when the song came on. And then there's a song, he said, you remember that song? And I say, I heard it before, but I don't know the words. I'm gonna miss those rides with you, Mark. And I love you so much, and you know that. Kenny. So I said this to Kenny because Kenny's like, he's like big brother, homeboy type, you know, it depends on the mood. But with Kenny, what I'm gonna miss the most, and I said this, any conference that I needed to go to, and I'm not saying the girls weren't available, I want to make that clear, is that when I first got on the board, I was so used to Kenny taking me, introducing me to people because he said to me that after a while, it's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. So he made sure that he took me in areas to introduce me to people to get familiar with my community. And I thank you for that. Outside of that, I'm gonna miss the Rice because he was Batman, is what I said. And I was Robin, but Robin with a Y and not the. And Pringles, I'm a
Pringles.
only Pringles instead of Pringle. So I know that I have two big brothers also for life. And you two guys that really did make an impact. I never knew, like, without Jason Soames actually coming up to me to ask me to run, I would not know any of you guys. So it started off with Jason Soames.
Oh, so he's to blame. Okay.
Well, after that, that's when I met you and Kenny, when you guys asked me to run. Reverend Davis left already, but she knows how I feel about her. She's had an impact on my life as well. Rosemary, I'm gonna miss seeing you at the conference. I got to know you at the conference in 2024, my first conference. And then I think that's where our bond came from, that one workshop class. So I'm really gonna miss you, Miss Story. Thank you for the candy. I'm gonna miss the candy. If you got extra bags, I want to take 2 with me, okay? Lindita, it's been a pleasure. You are such a sweetheart. Like, I've never met someone as pure, as smart. Like, the board, the office, glad to have you. Like, you're just a joy. Jason Nunemacher, I'm gonna miss my Gemini twin. I'm just gonna miss you all. Mike is not here. I'm gonna miss the brewery. I'm gonna miss Mike. I'm gonna miss. I know I should be saying that at the board, but I mean, it is what it is. My last day. I have nothing to lose. Last meeting, yes. Oh, June 30th. June 30th is I'm done. Demetrius, thank you. You've been a joy. It's like another brother or whatever. This is the most I've ever talked since I've been on the board. I'll miss everybody, the crew back there, Chris, you guys, I'm gonna miss you guys, the police officers that show up here, everybody back there. Love you guys, love everybody. I love you too, girl. So thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a joy. And I'm gonna go out. This is me, with my personality. This is who I am. So I love you guys, and I'll see you at graduation. Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Trustee Stein.
That's a hard act to follow. Remember, it was always Uberstein. Pardon me for using a naval comparison, but to our acting superintendent, thank you for righting the ship. May you have strong winds to move this district forward quickly. To your administrative staff, from a person on the outside, although I'm kind of on the inside, they have shown me, and I think the public, and I know the board, what it's going to take, especially by the presentation tonight, of making the accomplishments that we need to make as a district. Lindita, for raising the flag of strong, heavy winds that needed to be corrected. Thumbs up. Car President, I don't know who wrote the words for you tonight. Most of them were lies, but I'll take it. I'll take it. And to my sisters and brothers on the board, it's wonderful. I went through a time where there was an agenda that wanted that done and another agenda that wanted this done. It's nice to have a board that knows what direction the wind is blowing. Back to the neighborhood. And to know that you are in favor of moving this direction of the board and the district in the right direction. So I know I can leave. I'm not dying yet, but I can leave this board knowing that it is in great hands and will accomplish those things, making the hard decisions that need to be done. So thank you all.
Vice President Martin.
I had quite a bit to say here, but I'm not even gonna read anything. Because I don't want to take the thunder of you two and overtake what you guys had just said.
Thunder and lightning.
And lightning, indeed. So on that note, but I must always end as saying to our audience, continue on coming to the mic. It's important to us. It's important to hear from you. And please, if it's good or bad, we still want to hear it. It doesn't matter because it helped change our mind, regardless what you say. It helped change our mind, and we do listen. I'll leave on that note. Thank you.
Okay, I'll be brief. Tomorrow is our sports banquet, and at the banquet, the board will be presenting the resolution for Gordon Scooter Whiting to the family. Just a quick note that our next board meeting for July, it was scheduled for the 22nd. It is now being moved for July 29th, which is also another Wednesday. It's just a week later. Again, amazing things have been going on in our district. We had the top 20, the seal of biliteracy. As a world language teacher, I know the preparation that it takes to take these exams and how important and how difficult it is to show fluency and to show that you are speaking not just at a novice level, but fully conversational is extremely difficult. They blow me away whenever I see the amounts of students coming in. Every year, there are more and more students. And, I give all the credit to their teachers and to the students as well for studying and putting all that work in to make sure that they are bilingual in another language. We are here in June, and sometimes when we start the school year, June seems so far away, and you keep saying, I can't wait to graduate. I can't wait till June is here. We are literally less than a week away from graduation, where some of our students are going to be going off, starting their young adult lives. Some go to college, some might start work, and some still might not know what they want to do, and that is okay. Because it's okay. You can always have some time. You don't have to go straight into things. So I look forward in celebrating our students, to our staff. I hope that whatever journey you take this summer, that it takes you into one that you want to do, choose your own path. And for those who are returning, to take this time to really do things that you want to do. I know a lot of us tend as teachers to work in the summer. Sometimes we have no choice but to work in the summer. But if you can use those weekends, use the month of August
to like some of my trustees like to say the word relax. To relax, whatever that relax looks like to you. Yes. Whatever that looks like to you. Other than that, I listen, to Shivani and Mark, love you both. We have been through a lot together, and I know that this is not our goodbye here. We will definitely see you later. And hopefully at the next meeting it won't be as long as this one. I'm gonna put the blame on you too, that the meeting was long because of you guys. All right. So other than that, I look forward to all those end of the year student activities that we will be attending. And with that, I would like to have a motion to adjourn the meeting. Motion by trustee Stein and a second.
I'm gonna second. I just want to say one thing that I forgot to say, Kenny. I'm gonna promise you that I will keep the H in Hackensack, in comment. I promise you. And I second.
All right. So we have a second from trustee Pringle. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Any abstentions? And meeting is adjourned at midnight, 12 o'clock on the dot.